forecast.
What's up for breakfast and lunch? With me, Kaden Johnson, on Eyes Open with my Uncle Tony.
He grew up. Hey, good morning, and it's Tuesday, April the 8th. What's up, Kate?
Hey, Uncle Tony.
Well, you got a fun fact for us today. I know you do.
Sure, but it's gonna take some time to get it.
Okay, you got to process it. No worries. Let's start with the lunch menu, and then we'll do the prayer. And by that time, something's going to come to you because you got it like that. Okay, so what do we have on this terrific Tuesday, April the 8th?
Scrambled eggs.
Nice.
Toast. Jelly.
Mm-hmm.
With jelly and with fruit and milk.
Now, you know why I'm saying because I know you didn't proof your script. That's okay. Let's go. What do we have for lunch?
So for lunch, we're having Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes,
Good.
gravy with seasoned green beans. It's butter roll, banana, strawberry cup, and milk. That's your lunch menu for today. I'm Kaden Johnson. Have a blessed day.
Okay. You ready for your prayer? Are you ready for your fun fact?
Prayer.
Okay. Go ahead.
Dear God, thank you for my friends. Please show me to bring it out the best in each one. Amen.
Amen. We thought of something yet? I know I'm putting you on the spot. All right. So let's wrap it up. So you think of one for tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
All right. That's your lunch menu on this terrific Tuesday, April the 8th, followed by today's Kids Prayer. Hello, everyone. I'm Tony Brown. This is your statewide news you can use on this terrific Tuesday, April 8th. News today being brought to you by Louisiana Cardiovascular and Thoracic Institute, LACVT, now wound care certified. A man who was wanted in connection to a 2024 homicide case in Alexandria is in jail this morning in Texas. The shooting happened, a matter of fact, he was picked up on April the 6th, according to the Alexandria Police Department. 29-year-old Demarion Shorts has been located in Dallas and transported back to Alexandria. He was booked into the Rapides Parish Detention Center on account of second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. According to the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office, his bond has been set at over $2 million. APD said Shorts was sought in connection with the September 17, 2024 homicide of 58-year-old Verna Francis in the 3800 block of 3rd Street. The driver in a hit and run that killed 1 person and injured 3 others turned herself in to the Baton Rouge Police Monday morning. We first told you about this earlier this week. 34-year-old Taquencia LaShawn Harris was booked on 2 counts of felony hit and run, deadly or serious bodily injury, 2 misdemeanor counts of hit and run driving, 1 count of obstruction of justice, and 1 count of careless driving. Around 3:15 a.m. on March the 30th, Harris reportedly driving a blue Chevrolet Trailblazer when she struck 4 pedestrians attempting to cross Plank Road near Brady Street, killing 22-year-old Derica Stewart and seriously injuring another person. The 2 other pedestrians sustained minor injuries. Police were later able to confirm Harris was driving 52 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone at the time of the impact. After Harris allegedly fled the scene in her SUV, she later dropped it off to a body shop. The owner told police Harris told him she had struck a deer. According to an affidavit provided by the Baton Rouge Police Department, detectives were later able to match the brief from the scene to the blue Chevrolet Trailblazer Harris dropped off at the body shop. Additionally, a witness provided police with video showing Harris in the driver's seat of an SUV in the parking lot of a club near the site of the crash. Timestamp confirmed the video was taken shortly before the fatal crash. She apparently drove home and may have been inebriated. Police probably did do a blood test on her. The son of a couple found slain at their Amead home last week was allegedly wearing green military-style attire and had 3 guns when he was arrested in Los Angeles Friday, according to the Tangipahoa Horror Parish Sheriff's Office. 34-year-old Joshua Bricado had been missing since his parents, 75-year-old Mark Bricado and 66-year-old Priscilla Bricado, were found dead in their home on Eastwood Drive Thursday afternoon. Authorities first sought him as a person of interest, but said late Friday afternoon that warrants had been issued for his arrest and the killings. In addition to 2 counts, yeah, that's right, he killed his parents. In addition to 2 counts of first-degree murder issued by the Sheriff's Office, Bricado faces counts in California for possession of a loaded, unregistered firearm, possession of an assault weapon, and altering or removing a serial number on a firearm, according to the SO. After tracking Bricado's van, the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office alerted several agencies in Southern California area about the van, and Bricado likely being in the area. He was reportedly in custody a few hours later. At about 7:45 p.m. Friday, Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies observed a parked van that was flagged as a suspect vehicle by the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office. The van allegedly contained an assault rifle, shotgun, pistol, as well as body armor. Bricado is being held without bail as he waits an April 8th court appearance at LAX Municipal Courthouse. Bricado's parents were found dead after a welfare check. When deputies arrived at an Eastwood Drive house at about 1 p.m. Thursday, they found a dead woman identified as Priscilla Bricado. Several hours later, public information officers announced they had also found the body of her husband, Mark Bricado, on the property. A Gonzales woman pled guilty Monday to receiving child sexual abuse material produced by a photographer she arranged to take the images, according to the release of the United States Department of Justice. 40-year-old Hannah Kinchin pled guilty to 1 count of receipt of child pornography. She is scheduled to be sentenced on July 15th by a federal district judge and faces a mandatory minimum penalty of 5 years in prison and a maximum penalty of 20 years. Citing court documents, the release said Kinchin coordinated with a photographer who self-identified as a pedophile to set up photo shoots for the minor victim's modeling career. During the photo shoots, Kinchin helped the photographer take lewd photos of the victim. The release says the photographer then sent most of those images to Kinchin through a file-sharing website, some of which qualified as a child pornography that were later sold. The FBI New Orleans Division Baton Rouge resident agency investigated the case. It was brought as part of a nationwide initiative by the U.S. Justice Department to combat child sexual exploitation and abuse. A man who terrorized his Baton Rouge neighbors for months was sentenced to life in prison for killing his neighbor in 2022 after showing no signs of remorse Monday as he stood before a judge. 37-year-old Henry Williams III killed 25-year-old Ronald LaDuff in broad daylight late the afternoon of May 14, 2022 in the 500 block of West Chalfont Drive. Afterward, he barricaded himself inside his house and armed himself to the teeth, firing shots at SWAT officers who responded during a chaotic standoff. A jury found Williams guilty of the charge on November the 11th. After listening to 3 days of testimony at his murder trial, Williams railed against LaDuff as his relatives sat in the courtroom. He accused the deceased man of being a thief who attacked him and said he was forced to shoot LaDuff in self-defense. Prosecutors called Williams' claim completely inaccurate and asked for the maximum sentence. District Judge Fred Corsisi, who presided over the trial, gave Williams a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole for a second-degree murder conviction. The judge ordered him to serve another 25 years apiece for the 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder and absorb 10 years into the sentence for illegal use of a weapon during a violent crime. A looming state law could mean Louisiana teenagers will soon be forced to prove their age and get their parents' permission before they can log on to popular social media apps like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. But a legal battle is underway to block the restrictions which were slated to take effect this summer. State lawmakers enacted the Secure Online Child Interaction and Age Limitation Act in 2023. The bill invokes an age verification mandate upon social media companies with more than 5 million account holders worldwide. That means major online players like Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit have to make commercially reasonable efforts to confirm the ages of users across the state who are registered as being 16 years or younger. Those underage will need parental consent to create a file or log on to social media sites here in Louisiana. The law was originally set to take effect July of last year, but another bill that passed during the last year's legislative session amended the reforms and pushed the date for enforcement to begin. The changes are now set to take effect July the 1st of this year. Now, the start could be further delayed as legal drama plays out in court. Born in New Orleans and adopted at 8 weeks, Elise Lewis found her birth parents in 1996. She was 28, but something important was missing: her birth certificate with all the details it contained. A 2022 law gave Lewis other adoptees in Louisiana the right to obtain it. When the birth certificate arrived in the mail, she said, "I literally burst into tears," said Lewis, who grew up in Baton Rouge but now lives in Minnesota. She says, "It was the most emotional thing. I saw my mother's handwriting. I felt like I was complete. I didn't have any secrets anymore." Others have used the law to find and meet their birth mothers. About 1,650 people in Louisiana have received their birth certificates since 2022. According to the State Health Department, adoptees have to be at least 24 years old to request it. And finally, Buc-ee's, the Texas-based Megastore gas station chain known for its sprawling-sized, pristine bathrooms and popular food products, won't be a construction site for much longer in Harrison County, Mississippi. It's set to open June the 9th. That according to Bill Lavers, Executive Director of the Harrison County Development Commission, on Monday. Located at past Christian Men's Avenue exit on Interstate 10, Buc-ee's will be one of the largest in the nation, spanning 74,000 square feet, with 126 gas pumps, 24 electric vehicles, charging station, and 165 toilets. One of my favorite things at Buc-ee's is their taffy and, of course, their barbecued beef brisket breakfast burritos. I'm Tony Brown. That's your statewide news you can use on this terrific Tuesday, April the 8th, for Eyes Open Radio, 1110 a.m. KTTP and FM 107.5 The Vibe. Have a great and a blessed day.
You're listening to Eyes Open with Tony Brown. Serious talk for serious people.
Louisiana Cardiovascular and Thoracic Institute's Wound Care Clinic is a top-of-the-line wound care facility. Our wound care clinic has expert providers and access to the latest wound care treatments and technologies. If you've got existing wound concerns, diabetic risk, or black toes, you have options, and LACVT's Wound Care Clinic may be your best option to avoid amputation. We offer advanced treatments, outstanding outcomes, and we accept all insurances. For more on how we can help you heal, call 318-442-0106.
Hey, I need to speak to the president.
Hello, my fellow Americans. It's your President Donald.
Nah, not that president. I'm talking about the tax president, H. Wonder Isidore from Exact Tax. President Isidore has been doing taxes for 3 decades, more than 20 years in the same location. That's 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem. Meet the tax president is dedicated. Plus, he's hitting his customers with the audit protection at no charge. And you know you need that protection. Not to mention, H. Wonder Isidore was voted Who's Who Professional of the Year for tax business service the last several years. And when you file with Exact Tax, register to win more than $50K in prizes, a new car, including TTNL. So if you want your taxes done right, on time, with the most easy advanced refunds approved and dropped in your account within a few hours, hit up Exact Tax, 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem Meat, or call 318-483-6463. That's 318-483-6463.
Go see Exact Tax, and I approve this message.
KTTP 1110 AM is the official voice of the Peabody Warhorse Radio Network. Download the KTTP app today in the App Store or on Google Play. It's time for the Scripture of the Day. And now, the beautiful Bianca Brown.
It's Bianca Brown with your Scripture of the Day. Today's Scripture comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. Today's scripture is being brought to you by the Monroe Street Church of Christ in Alexandria, Louisiana. If you would like to learn more about how Christ suffered for our healing, you can do so by contacting the church. Give the Monroe Street Church a call at 318-448-2494 and ask to speak with Brother Jesse Allen, or write the Monroe Street Church of Christ at 2008 Monroe Street, Alexandria, Louisiana, 71301. As we always say, we will continue to lift you up in prayer in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
It's time for the Daily Bread with Tony Brown.
Ash heap Christians. Read 1 Corinthians 3:5-15. Each one's work will become clear, for the day will declare it. The fire will test each one's work of what sort it is. 1 Corinthians 3:13. Someone once asked me why he should be just like Jesus now, since she would become like him when she got to heaven. 1 John 3:1-3. Great question, especially when it's easier to just be yourself. Actually, there are several reasons why becoming like him now is important, but one is near the top. When we stand before him, we will give an account as to whether or not we lived in ways that were consistent with his will. Or, as Paul put it, whether or not we have built on him as our foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, or straw. 1 Corinthians 3:12-13. All that we do to advance his kingdom, things like contribute to the strength of his church, serve the poor and needy, and promote righteousness and justice as he did, deals with essential materials that will survive the fire of his judgment. But living to advance ourselves and our earthly desires, build with things that will turn into a pile of ashes before the consuming fire of his glory. I don't know about you, but I'd rather love Jesus enough to live like him now. For the thought of standing before him in a heap of ashes is an unthinkable alternative. Father, thank you for the Spirit. Fill us with his love and power. Change us into Christ's own image, day by day and hour by hour. Build your life with commodities that will stand the test of God's judgment. I'm Tony Brown, and that's today's Daily Bread.
Eyes open with Tony Brown and a hot cup of coffee. An informative and positive way to start your day.
And he makes a mess.
I'm sure that was not those Buster Files right there, 1980. Paula Abdul, the first Laker girl. You know she was the first Laker girl too? Yeah, she was in high school back in the day. Speaking of school, shout out to the University of Houston Cougars, my school. Y'all know I'm an alumni. I graduated from the University of Houston in radio and television broadcast journalism back in May of 1988. I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi in the spring of 1984. It was just really great to see them come out, but they lost to Florida on last night by 1 point. They were leading the entire game, Q. The entire game they were leading. In the last couple of minutes of the game, Florida came back, got some momentum, and we had 20-some seconds left. We were able to inbound the ball, but they couldn't get a shot off. Well, they got the first one, and then it hit old boy's leg, the ball, and it went out. Then they got another shot to hit a three-pointer, and they would have won the game, but they couldn't get the shot off. So I'm certainly proud of my school. This was the first time that they had been back to the big show since I was in school. Yeah, now they've been to the what they call it, the Sweet 16. They've been to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. The Elite 8, 6 consecutive times over the past 6 years. They finally got to the Final Four for the first time in a long time, and then making it to the championship game. They did that back when I was in college. That was in 1983 and 1984 with Akeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, Larry Mishaw, Benny Anderson, Greg Cadillac Anderson. I can still remember some of those players, and them walking on campus. And you know, one guy, 1 year Q, they call him Greg Cadillac Anderson. They call him Cadillac because he rode an English racer bike. So after they went to the championship, he pulled up at the dorm in a drop-top Mustang. I said, man, you come up like Georgia. How you go from an English racer bike to a brand-new Mustang? That's all I'm saying. And I, Greg, man, how you go from an English racer Cadillac? You say, hey, man, I'm just blessed. Hey, man, he went on to play for the San Antonio Spurs. I think he played 6 or 7 years in the NBA. Of course, y'all know Clyde Drexler and Akeem Olajuwon. Eventually came back together, I think maybe even on the Houston squad. But Clyde was with the Portland Trail Blazers. Akeem Olajuwon was with the Houston Rockets. So all of them had stellar careers. So hats off to them. There's a story this morning that talked about a law that came into effect in 2022. Just imagine, you know, being an adopted child, not knowing who your family is. Now they have DNA. You can go do DNA, and you're going to get some hits, because I've gotten several calls, particularly from women who are looking for their father, who traced me down, looking for someone who may have been related to my daddy. And, you know, I gave them as much as I could, but could not make the connection, and nobody could remember her. But I came up maybe as a third or fourth relation to her. On her father's side, and God bless her, and I fell for her, and I talked to her for about an hour or so, and she had a stumbling block with us, could not make the connection. But there's a law that's on the books that actually allows, that allows adopted people to find their parents, their birth mothers. Yeah, it's called let's see here. It went into effect. So there's about 1,650 people in Louisiana who have received their birth certificate. So it allows them to get their birth certificate. You know, back in the day, you couldn't even get your birth certificate. But in 2022, Louisiana passed a law that allows people to get their birth certificate. And on the birth certificate, you'll be able to identify who, particularly your mother is, and your father in most cases. And that's a good start with modern technology and the internet era. You can go online, Facebook, this, that, and the other. But there's one story here, the lady, now, it's called House Bill 450, which overturned a 1977 law passed with an overwhelming majority in both the House and Senate. Opponents expressed concern that the birth mothers who wanted no contact with their child would be contacted, and because of that fear, they could choose to have an abortion instead of giving up the child to adoption. If the adopted person reaches out to their birth mother, the two can have an adult conversation, said Lewis, who worked with ORN to win passage of the legislation. We have not heard of any backlash or ill effects from the law. Louisiana joined 10 other states in allowing adoptees to obtain their birth certificate. The bill allows mothers to check a box saying they don't ever want to be contacted. On said only 2 mothers have done that. Joan Harris, she's 54 years old. She was alerted about the existence of the House Bill 450 just before it passed. Harris always knew he was adopted and appreciated growing up what he calls a great Christian family in Shreveport. By his early 20s, Harris wanted to learn his family history. He said, my adopted mom and dad and I didn't have a lot of similar interests, Harris said. Dad was a church minister, while I liked motorcycles. Where does that come from? On every doctor's visit, they would ask, do you have any medical history? I said I didn't know. Harris' parents told him he had been born in Shreveport and adopted at the Volunteers of America Girls Home there. The center would give him only limited information because of the 1977 law. Harris learned his birth mother was light-skinned and blonde, had green eyes, and was 5'3", weighed 100 pounds. His birth father was into cars and motorcycles. Her parents didn't have a lot of means, and the father was a veteran. That was it. He said, they said everything else was under lock and key, Harris said. I joined an adoptee forum that ran into dead end after dead end. I looked into hiring an attorney, but it was going to be expensive. Every few years, I'd revisit the forums and make another post. Like Lewis, Harris was ecstatic when he received his birth certificate. Then Harris asked himself, is my birth mother still alive? Will I ever find my birth father? The certificate said unknown. An executive recruiter in Texas, Harris set out to use his work skills to find his mother. Within a couple of days, he found 12 phone numbers for people with her name. He said, begin calling with a script. Harris said, I would say my birth date and say, if it means anything to you, please give me a call. So we leave a message. 2 weeks later, on a Sunday morning before church, Harris received a text from a woman saying that the birth date meant something to her. She called Harris that afternoon, and he talked for hours. She was ecstatic to meet me. She was 18 at the time and a senior in high school. She got a nursing degree, her master's degree, was in the Army for many, many years. Her fear was that I had been in a war and gotten killed. She thought about me every day and looked for me for a while. She told Harris that when he was born, the staff of the hospital immediately took him away from her to avoid her becoming too attached, or what we call bonded. So there's some good stories here where adults who are 24 years at least can apply to get their birth certificate, certainly if they're adopted, and then they can start from there to find their birth parents. In many situations, rare does a parent say, I don't want any contact, this, that, and the other. You got your family, this, that, and the other. You were young. You made a decision to give up the child. You think about them every day. Every day you think about the child, whether it's a boy or a girl. And when they reach out to you, most often than not, it turns out to be a blessing. It really does. So I like this law, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. Eyes Open News Time is straight up 7 o'clock. We're going to take a break. And then we're going to come out and tell you about the Capper Fish Fry. It's going down, Q. It's going down, girl. You got to pick up a couple of meals for the family. They're only $15. We're going to fry the fish. Everything going to be home cooked. And you can pick up your meal at Pamela's on the Bayou from 11 until 2 this Saturday. So we got we have our chapter pole mark, Dr. Keith Fox, coming in to tell you about the Capper Fish Fry for our scholarship fund. So it's a worthy cause. We'll talk about all that and a whole lot more coming up. Again, it's straight up 7 o'clock Eyes Open News Time on this terrific Tuesday, April the 8th. Good morning.
No, not that president. I'm talking about the tax president. H. Wonder Isidore from Exactax. President Isidore has been doing taxes for 3 decades. More than 20 years in the same location. That's 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem. Meet the tax president is dedicated. Plus, he's hitting his customers with the audit protection at no charge. And you know you need that protection. Not to mention, H. Wonder Isidore was voted Who's Who Professional of the Year for tax business service the last several years. And when you file with Exactax, register to win more than $50K in prizes, a new car, including TTNL. So if you want your taxes done right, on time, with the most easy advanced refunds approved and dropped in your account within a few hours, hit up Exactax, 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem Meat, or call 318-483-6463. That's 318-483-6463.
Go see Exactax, and I approve this message.
Louisiana Cardiovascular and Thoracic Institute's Wound Care Clinic is a top-of-the-line wound care facility. Our wound care clinic has expert providers and access to the latest wound care treatments and technologies. If you've got existing wound concerns, diabetic risk, or black toes, you have options, and LACVT's Wound Care Clinic may be your best option to avoid amputation. We offer advanced treatments, outstanding outcomes, and we accept all insurances. For more on how we can help you heal, call 318-442-0106.
Out with the old, in with the new at Showtime Furniture is making all your furniture and appliance needs come true in 2025. This month, pay only $25 down and get an additional $25 off your next 3 monthly payments on any new rental agreement. Yes, you heard it right. A $25 down payment gets you an additional $25 off your next 3 monthly payments on any new rental agreement. Get a living room, bedroom, dinettes, big screen TVs, and more. When it comes to home furniture, appliances, or electronics, Showtime has what you need and only for $25 down. As always, no credit check, free delivery, free service, and up to 9 months, same as cash lease options available right now. You need it, we got it. Save that money with Showtime and visit us in Alexandria today at 3717 MacArthur Drive at Lee Street, right behind the Burger King. It's $25 down payments and $25 off all agreements for the next 3 months on top of 9 months, same as cash options at Showtime Furniture in Alexandria. Like Boss Man says, let them have it, baby. Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers now has convenient locations to better serve residents of Central Louisiana. Now you can get affordable medical, dental, and mental health care at 1217 Willow Glen River Road and 605 Brown Bend Road in Alexandria and 1007 Shirley Road in Bunkie. If you need quality health care for your baby from prenatal, during pregnancy, and up until adulthood, then look no further than Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers. Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers continues to be the affordable, timely answer to all your family's healthcare needs. All services are available to anyone regardless of their ability to pay. You or your family will never be turned away. Rapides Primary is a certified KidMed site with a sliding fee scale. Payment is based on income and size of family. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance is accepted for all medical services. For appointments and information on all medical services, call 318-487-4400. That's 318-487-4400. Rapides Primary Healthcare Center, now with 3 locations to better serve Central Louisiana. A new beginning to quality health care.
Hey, my darlings, it's Diva D, and I'm getting ready to come your way. Alexandria, Pineville, join me every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on FM 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 a.m. KTTP. It's the Zydeco Workout with Diva D, so get your boots on the ground, darling. And it all happens right here every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 a.m. KTTP, the heart and soul of Sinlock.
Saturday, April 19th, for the first time, Paragon presents Yes Itself plus Christopher Williams. And it's all hosted by Primetime DJ Premier. Live Easter weekend, Saturday, April 19th, 8 p.m. inside the Murray Showroom at Paragon. You got to get that ticket right there.
I am there, baby.
KTTP 1110 AM is the official voice of the Peabody Warhorse Radio Network. Download the KTTP app today in the App Store or on Google Play. This is Ice Open with Tony Brown on FM 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 AM KTTP Alexandria Pineville.
Absolutely beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful day. I know it's a little cold in the mid-40s, about 46, 47 degrees out there right now, but it's going to turn out to be in the 70s, low humidity, beautiful blue sky. So take a sweater with you this morning. We're going to get another cold front before next weekend, but this weekend is going to be beautiful as well. So we've had a washout the past 3 weekends. But this weekend is going to be absolutely beautiful. Top of the morning to you. Eyes Open News Time, 6 minutes past the hour 7. What we got coming up? We got Dr. Keith Fox coming up this morning, my frat brother, as we're going to be talking about the awesome Alexandria alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi having its annual scholarship fish fry. That's going to be this Saturday at Pamela's on the Bayou from 11 till 2. The dinners are just $15, and it goes, we're raising money for the Kappa Alpha Psi Scholarship Fund. So it's a very good fun. I want you to be a part of it. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So what do we get with this catfish? So the dinner's going to include some of the best tasting catfish, Louisiana fried catfish, potato salad, sweet peas, and you get some dessert. Yeah, I said dessert with a T. There's going to be some cake. Again, it's the Kappa Catfish Fundraiser. Proceeds to benefit the fundraiser, our scholarship program. Again, pre-sale tickets are available through Eventbrite or scan the QR code catfishfundraiser.eventbrite.com. You can go to my Facebook page this morning. You'll see the catfish flyer and you'll see the QR code. Just hit that with your phone and go ahead and pre-order your meals because we sell out every year. We sell out every year. And, of course, yours truly is going to be posted up. You know, I might get down in there because I am a cook. People who know Tony Brown can throw down in the kitchen. That ain't the only room I can throw down there. That's Bianca Brown. She know what's up. We got Dr. Keith Fox coming up. And this hats off to the Brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi, the Austin Alexandria Alumni Chapter, for hosting the Membership Training Academy cluster for the Southwestern Province this past weekend in Alexandria. We put in a bid, so to speak, and hats off to Brother Jerome Davis, a Peabody grad. Jerome was an official up here. He's now Dr. Jerome Davis. He was a manager at Peabody for several years, more than 10 years ago. I remember back in the day. And then he reached out to me when he was the pole mark of Lake Charles alumni, and I went to their black and white ball. We got a black and white ball coming up at the end of May. We'll be telling you about that kicking off May the 1st. We'll have a commercial running, and those tickets are going fast. Hopefully I'll have 2 tables, and I'm filling up my tables. My wife is ordering the stuff for the tables. It's going to be a big deal. I got people coming from New Orleans and people coming from the Houston area. So it's the hottest ticket in town besides this fish fry that we're doing. So again, hats off to Alexandria alumni for being the host chapter, where we had more than 450 candidates who got initiated into the best fraternity in the world, Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated, founded in 1911. In fact, it was just a blessing for me to see my home chapter, where I pledge, Ada Lambda, the world-famous Space City Noobs, bring in 7 guys, and I hugged on them, loved on them, and on their way out, they stopped by the house and had a good hot meal, courtesy of the beautiful Bianca Brown. Some jambalaya pasta, shrimp, homemade sausage, and chicken, fettuccine. It was delish. So we got that coming up. We got Talent Dearborn. She's Rapides Parish School Board Talented Theater Showcase that's going to be taking place next week at Ash. It's absolutely free. So we're going to want people to come in and participate in that as well. So Talent Dearborn, the name sounds familiar? Yeah, she was all that in a bag of chips at Ash. Went on to college, I think at Southern University, if I'm not mistaken. But she was my second team reporter. She was my second team reporter behind Dr. Ence's daughter. So hats off to Talent. She'll be coming in and joining us in just a few ticks of the clock. One of the other biggest tickets in town, of course, is Christopher Williams and Silk performing live at the Paragon Casino Resort. That's going to be on Saturday before Easter weekend on the 19th. Get your tickets while they last. Hopefully we'll have Christopher Williams or Lil G with Silk coming on the show in a matter of days to talk a little bit about this huge show. There's going to be a big VIP after party after the concert. I think there's a cost involved in that. So, tell you what, if you want to go, you really want to go, you holler at me right now. 318-483-9977. 318-483-9977. 11 minutes past the hour, Eyes Open News Time. Good morning.
Louisiana Cardiovascular and Thoracic Institute's Wound Care Clinic is a top-of-the-line wound care facility. Our wound care clinic has expert providers and access to the latest wound care treatments and technologies. If you've got existing wound concerns, diabetic risk, or black toes, you have options, and LACVT's Wound Care Clinic may be your best option to avoid amputation. We offer advanced treatments, outstanding outcomes, and we accept all insurances. For more on how we can help you heal, call 318-442-0106.
Hey, I need to speak to the president.
Hello, my fellow Americans. It's your president, Donald Trump.
Nah, not that president. I'm talking about the tax president, H. Wonder Isidore from ExactTax. President Isidore has been doing taxes for 3 decades, more than 20 years in the same location. That's 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem. Meet the tax president is dedicated. Plus, he's hitting his customers with the audit protection at no charge. And you know you need that protection. Not to mention, H. Wonder Isidore was voted Who's Who Professional of the Year for tax business service the last several years. And when you file with ExactTax, register to win more than $50K in prizes, a new car, including TTNL. So if you want your taxes done right, on time, with the most easy advance refunds approved and dropped in your account within a few hours, hit up ExactTax, 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem, or call 318-483-6463. That's 318-483-6463.
Go see ExactTax, and I approve this message.
Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers now has convenient locations to better serve residents of Central Louisiana. Now you can get affordable medical, dental, and mental health care at 1217 Willow Glen River Road and 605 Brown Bend Road in Alexandria and 1007 Shirley Road in Bunkie. If you need quality health care for your baby from prenatal, during pregnancy, and up until adulthood, then look no further than Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers. Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers continues to be the affordable, timely answer to all your family's healthcare needs. All services are available to anyone regardless of their ability to pay. You or your family will never be turned away. Rapides Primary is a certified KidMed site with a sliding fee scale. Payment is based on income and size of family. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance is accepted for all medical services. For appointments and information on all medical services, call 318-487-4400. That's 318-487-4400. Rapides Primary Healthcare Center, now with 3 locations to better serve Central Louisiana. A new beginning to quality health care.
Hey, it's your girl Diva D, making my Sin-Law debut with my new show, Diva D's Zydeco Workout. Join me every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on your favorite station, FM 107.5 The Vibe, and 11:10 a.m. KTTP. Get ready, Alexandria, Pineville. I'm your Zydeco Southern Soul and Old School Diva. So get ready to take a musical ride with me right here on your favorite station.
Saturday, April 19th, for the first time, Paragon presents Silk. Yes, it's Silk. Plus Christopher Williams. And it's all hosted by Primetime DJ Premier. Live Easter weekend, Saturday, April 19th, 8 p.m. inside the Murray Showroom at Paragon. You got to get that ticket right now.
I am there, baby.
KTTP 1110 AM is the official voice of the Peabody Warhorse Radio Network. Download the KTTP app today in the App Store or on Google Play. This is Eyes Open with Tony Brown on FM 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 AM KTTP Alexandria Pineville.
All right. Dollar bill, y'all. Y'all know nothing about that. That's what I'm talking about. Go get that money. I tell you what, man, hats off to the awesome Alexandria Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. Was the host chapter at the Southwestern Province. That's 5 states, folks, of the Membership Training Academy cluster. We had to be a record. I mean, I was just in awe. 450 initiates crossed and became members and brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi, the best fraternity on the planet. I'm glad to have in the studio with us this morning the pole mark, what we would call the president of the awesome Alexandria Alumni Chapter, my good friend Dr. Keith Fox. Doc, welcome back. No stranger to Eyes Open. How you doing, brother?
No, good morning, Brother Tony. Man, I'm happy to be here. Been a loyal listener ever since you started. I feel at home right now.
Absolutely. And you originally from Alexandria, right?
Originally from Alexandria, born and raised.
So when did you start? Now, next week, April the 15th, is going to be my 23-year of broadcasting Eyes Open. And you've been with me 23 years?
Nope, I've been with you the whole time.
I'll tell you how old we get. And Martin's, his daughter, his oldest daughter, Lauren, is now a doctor performing surgeries.
Wow.
She's in the Baton Rouge area. His other daughter finished and graduated from Southern University last year. She's working here for a local company. Not only him, but Gary Brown, our fraternity brother.
Right.
Both of his daughters, like Martin, had the daughters in the back seat while they were listening to the show when I was some 20 years ago. Now all of them have moved on to their career. I still feel like the guy I was 23 years ago. And I think, looks-wise, I'm a Kappa man, so y'all know we're going to maintain our prettiness.
Pretty Tony, what they call him.
There you go.
Pretty
what
Tony,
they
what they call him.
Yeah, he got it right. And every time he sees me, that's what he's saying. The brothers be looking, that's Pretty Tony? Yeah, that's pretty. Nah, they know. But in any event, man, I love my fraternity. I love how Alexandria Alumni hosted, I would say, one of the biggest cluster initiates, in the country.
I think we broke the record, Tony.
I think so.
With that many initiatives coming through at one time, and we had the opportunity to do it here in Alexandria, and I definitely want to give big kudos to you, Brother Tony, for being on that committee, helping to get that here. And listeners, let me tell you, Tony was out there working. He wasn't just standing there. He was out there working, looking like he was an undergrad again.
Yeah,
so
whatever they asked me to do, especially I told the poll, the first thing I said, whatever you need me to do, I'm doing it. When the first night when I came in, he said, "No, brother, you're an older brother. Why don't you just sit back and watch? We got this." But I couldn't. And I saw you were working, so I was just kind of standing around, and then I'm glad I got involved on Saturday. I had the opportunity to be the strategist. That's basically security of limiting people who's not supposed to be there, this, that, and the other. So that was a blessing that I was able to touch and put my hand on every initiate that came through the main door. And we had some brothers back there working. People don't understand. There was a lot of work doing that many in our initiation ceremony, which is ritualistic. But, it was great. It was awesome. And just to have that many Kappas, it had to be close to 1,000.
Oh, it was close to 1,000.
When you look at the picture, I was like, and I compared it. I got the new Kappa Journal, and I looked at some other cluster. I was like, we got 3 times as many.
No, 3 times as much.
Yeah, so 450, hats off. I think kudos to the awesome Alexandria alumni. I call it the AAA Kappas. And, we just sent by. No one was hurt. We never had any problems. It was just a great, safe weekend, and I think they're going to be eyeballing to come back here.
Eyeballing to actually bring the entire Southwestern Province council meeting here.
That would be crazy.
We're talking about 1,500 brothers being here, so
Easy.
They are looking to that.
Absolutely.
They were very pleased with Alexandria, so Riverfront Center was great.
Yes.
City was great.
Holiday Inn, the Hotel Bentley.
Great.
We filled out. You filled out 4 Seasons as well as the Best Western. So at least 4, maybe 5 hotels got sold out.
About 5 hotels got
and
sold
then there
out.
were some other overflows because we couldn't find some rooms. Everybody, past Polemark, brother out of the attorney.
Dwayne Murray.
Brother Murray
past
came
Grand
in.
Polemark.
Yes, came up, and I had seen. He said, "God dang, man!" He said, "You working?" I said, "Yeah, dude." He said, "Dang, Tony," because he used to be on the show back in the day when it was the Grand Polemark. Of course, we had the provincial Polemark, who was out of Jackson, brother Jerome Brown, who came in, who actually kind of, I was looking, I saw, I didn't know that was him, but he walked over to me and hugged me. He thanked me as well. He said, I said, yeah, y'all threw me on the bus on the back. He said, no, I said, I get it, man. Whatever I'm needed, that's where I'm needed.
Right,
so
right.
we hugged each other, and he said, much respect to you, man. Because, I do want to thank the Alexandria CVB. Because they were the first to come up, and yes, we pointed them in the direction for the campus to get money, and I think it's the first MTA cluster where the city of Alexandria, and I can't say enough about the Greater Alexandria Economic Development Authority, GATO. The GATO board I want to thank the CV, they all stepped up and helped Kappa to get here. That was the selling point.
Yes,
that we were able to get about $20,000 in grants to come here, and they saw that at that little festival that they had, I think it was for, breast cancer survivors.
Yeah, Relay.
Yes,
Relay for Life.
Relay for Life, and every vendor sold out.
Yes.
Every vendor sold out, because when we got there, I was trying to order some burritos or whatever, sold out. So they started actually packing up an hour before even the fireworks started, because everybody sold out of everything, and people were looking for more. So next time, what I would suggest, Anoop, is we have something on the same weekend. We try to coordinate that socially, give them something to do socially.
Definitely, absolutely.
But I thank God that they came to Alexandria. It was historic. It was the first time that Kappa's, any kind of Kappa convention has been here.
Very first time.
Yeah, under your leadership. So as we continue, Kappa's is all about the achievement in every field of human endeavor. And we're trying to raise money tell them a little bit about our scholarship fund.
Our scholarship fund, through our Guide Right program, of course, the Kappas, we want to make sure that every kid has the opportunity to go to college, to have the funds to go to college. And, of course, Tony, sometimes kids may come up short. So through our scholarship fund, we help those individuals get to college, to pay those fees, to help with those books. So this Saturday, Kappa Alpha Psi will be having our annual fish fry to help some of those kids with that tuition to get to college.
Absolutely. And, when you go into college like you and I did, and that's Kappa is all about achievement, and of course we get our initiates. They have to be in college, at least their second semester in college before they can actually become members or be a part of the intake process. But any and everything helps when you're in college.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can you remember, having, I got books taken care of, but going to my refrigerator and all I had was some Spam and some potted meat. And I'm like, man, we need a little help. And so we've decided to give two scholarships this year.
Correct.
One to a high school senior who's going to college, and then one to a freshman or an upperclassman who's going back. Because it gets tough, and everything helps. I remember when you and your books would run you $1,500 to $2,000.
Exactly, and it's gotten more expensive now, Tony.
I can only imagine. And the cost per semester has on average per semester $3,000, $4,000, $5,000
easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
So a lot of people have to go get loans. Thank God for Pell Grants and financial aid. But this is a very important for our area because we give the scholarships out to local students.
Correct.
Now, how long has Kappa been doing this?
We've been doing this about 40 years, giving out the scholarship, Tony. And we try to do our very best, but we need the help of the community. What we want the community to understand, that funds that come into Kappa Alpha Psi goes right back to the community, right back to the youth in the community when it comes to these scholarships.
And again, let's talk about where they can order these fish these delicious, tasty fried fish deals for a very worthy cause.
The fish fry will be this Saturday, April 12th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Pamela's Bayou on the Bowl, on right there across from Walmart on North Mall Drive. You can either order from a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi, or you can walk up to get it for a good price of $15, and it's going to be some big pieces of fish.
Come on.
Big pieces of fish, and I believe we're probably going to have Brother Tony Brown on the fryer.
He's going to
be there frying it up and fraternizing, having fun. And again,
I'm gonna bring my silhouette. She gonna have to work
bring your silhouette. Yeah. It's gonna be.
Is that cool to bring some silhouettes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, have them come out and show out and help us fix some plates. Last year and every year we sell out.
Yeah, we sell out.
So we need these pre-orders. they can go to my Facebook page right now. Go to Tony Brown Facebook. You'll see the flyer. There's a QR code. Just get your phone, hit that QR code, and order your meals. It's best to order them in advance because we sell out every year. So we talked about 2 huge pieces of fried catfish, Louisiana style. We're talking about potato salad that's going to be homemade. We got those green beans that we all love, and we're going to have cake as well. I'm gonna probably bring a red velvet cake. It's something because red velvet look like the Kappa Crimson colors to me. So a couple of red velvet cakes. I'm gonna pick those up on the way in. So I'm gonna make sure the people who get placed from me, y'all gonna have some red velvet cake. I'm calling it Kappa Red Velvet.
Kappa Red Velvet.
but it's gonna be and the cause is just a phenomenal cause because I was taking a look at a statistic that came out, and I think I may have sent you the article, but it's posted on my Facebook, how women are excelling, African-American women are excelling in college, but men have fallen off. Our numbers of black men who are attending HBCUs or any college have fallen off by 25 to 30%.
Yes, they have, Tony.
Yes,
they have.
And the ones that are going in, it's a struggle. So I don't know why black men are not qualifying. I think it starts really at home. It starts with making the grade in order to get to a college and being able to compete academically once you get there. Because if you get there and then they say, well, man, you read on an 8th grade level, but you got a degree. I mean, you got a high school diploma. You have to go and take those remedial courses. Pass those before you even start taking your normal courses. I remember college was just an amazing experience.
Amazing.
I loved it. It was the best time, one of the best times of my life, being a Kappa man on the campus of University of Houston because, wherever the Kappas are, we run in the yard.
We going to run the yard.
Can I get a yo on that?
We can get a yo on that. Same way as Southern University. We ran the yard.
And all you guys out there, y'all be hating on us. We know why y'all hate because
Don't hate.
Y'all because the ladies, that's all I gotta say. She with the noobs now. She with the noobs now. Y'all gotta understand that.
Yeah, we're gonna take your ladies.
We're gonna take your lady and just be prepared. And look, if you plan on going to college your first year and your girlfriend is going with you, she already took. I'm just saying, don't get your feelings so hurt. Prepare your heart. Prepare your heart because she going to get took. She going to go for that noob. They got that drop top. He the big man on campus, and you're not. So the only thing you can do is hope and pray that you can become a Kappa.
That's why they call him Pretty Tony.
I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. And I'm just so happy because, I love my fraternity. And I had the opportunity I was a 10th anniversary noob. Ada Lambert had his 50th anniversary on last year. And yours truly was the keynote speaker. And we had over 250 brothers. We raised $70,000 and spent every penny of it on that entire weekend.
Wow.
Brothers didn't pay for anything. Drinks, food, top-notch, 5-star at the Hilton Conrad on campus. It was an amazing event. And what was great is I saw some of those brothers here.
Yes.
Yeah, and then my chapter had 7 guys that came in and crossed. And then I invited you, but you had an appointment. And my condolences going out to you and your family.
Thank you.
On that loss. But I invited the brother Poe. Rick Gallo, of course, over the ULL system came through.
Great brother. Great brother.
And my chapter, those new brothers came through, and my wife made a wonderful meal. We made some Louisiana jambalaya pasta with the smoked sausage, the chicken, the shrimp, fettuccine, and they had a wonderful time. They came in, we fellowshiped, just I wanted to make sure that I fed my young men. It was like they're my brothers, but like my sons too.
Right, exactly.
And they treated me as such, and they all hugged on my wife's neck and thank you, Miss Brown. I say, baby, we create memories, and that's what you just call brotherhood.
Absolutely,
brotherly love.
Tony.
So tell them one more time about these fish plates.
Come out Saturday, April 12th. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pamela's Bayou on the Bowl. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. North Ball Boulevard. If you don't want to buy a plate of fish, you can leave a donation. Everything goes to scholarships. And we want to thank Eyes Open with my man, Tony Brown, for always being a yeoman in the work that he does. And I ask his listeners to continue to support this program. I've been supporting it 23 years and will continue to support it.
Well, and then I'm going to say a shout out to all the Kappas out there who are not active. We're reclaiming
We are.
You know, Dr. Keith Fox has been a poll mark going number 3. Right,
this is probably my 4th time
Fourth
being poll
time.
mark.
Good Lord. And he's good because he listens to people. People respect him. They show up for him. And it was under his leadership that he got me to come back. Because now I have time. Now I have time to do it. My business is a well-oiled machine. My woman ain't going nowhere. So, so with that said, and she really enjoys being a silhouette, man. She does. She got a sweater. She got coffee cup.
She does. Look, Sis shows up and she goes to work too.
Yeah, and she's gonna be there. She's gonna be there. So y'all come on out. Say hi to Brother Paul Mark, Dr. Keith Fox. Say hi to all the brothers out there who are gonna work this weekend. Again, we're gonna be there from 11 to 2. You can get your meal. Pre-orders, QR code from the flyer. You can go to Tony Brown Facebook and get your pre-order, but you can order right there on the spot. It's only $15. A couple of pieces of delicious, golden, crispy, southern fried catfish, potato salad, green beans, and we have dessert. I said it with a T. Dessert. We have dessert. We're gonna have some cake, red velvet, on my end. So, Loop, thank you again. We appreciate y'all, and keep up the good work.
Yo, brother.
All right, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna wipe it off. More eyes on when we come back. Thank you again, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Don't go away.
Eyes Open with Tony Brown. Serious talk for serious people.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tony Brown. This is your statewide news you can use on this terrific Tuesday, April 8th. News today being brought to you by Louisiana Cardiovascular and Thoracic Institute, LACVT, now wound care certified. A man who was wanted in connection to a 2024 homicide case in Alexandria is in jail this morning in Texas. The shooting happened. A matter of fact, he was picked up on April the 6th, according to the Alexandria Police Department. 29-year-old Demarion Shorts has been located in Dallas and transported back to Alexandria. He was booked into the Rapides Parish Detention Center on account of second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. According to the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office, his bond has been set at over $2 million. APD said Shorts was sought in connection with the September 17, 2024 homicide of 58-year-old Verna Francis in the 3800 block of 3rd Street. The driver in a hit-and-run that killed 1 person and injured 3 others turned herself in to the Baton Rouge police Monday morning. We first told you about this earlier this week. 34-year-old Taquencia LaShawn Harris was booked on 2 counts of felony hit-and-run, deadly or serious bodily injury, 2 misdemeanor counts of hit-and-run driving, 1 count of obstruction of justice, and 1 count of careless driving. Around 3:15 a.m. on March the 30th, Harris reportedly driving a blue Chevrolet Trailblazer when she struck 4 pedestrians attempting to cross Plank Road near Brady Street, killing 22-year-old Derica Stewart and seriously injuring another person. The 2 other pedestrians sustained minor injuries. Police were later able to confirm Harris was driving 52 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone at the time of the impact. After Harris allegedly fled the scene in her SUV, she later dropped it off to a body shop. The owner told police Harris told him she had struck a deer. According to an affidavit provided by the Baton Rouge Police Department, detectives were later able to match the brief from the scene to the blue Chevrolet Trailblazer Harris dropped off at the body shop. Additionally, a witness provided police with video showing Harris in the driver's seat of an SUV in the parking lot of a club near the site of the crash. Timestamp confirmed the video was taken shortly before the fatal crash. She apparently drove home and may have been inebriated. Police probably did do a blood test on her. The son of a couple found slain at their A-Meet home last week was allegedly wearing green military-style attire and had 3 guns when he was arrested in Los Angeles Friday, according to the Tangible Horror Parish Sheriff's Office. 34-year-old Joshua Bricado had been missing since his parents, 75-year-old Mark Bricado and 66-year-old Priscilla Bricado were found dead in their home on Eastwood Drive Thursday afternoon. Authorities first sought him as a person of interest, but said late Friday afternoon that warrants had been issued for his arrest and the killing. In addition to 2 counts, yeah, that's right, he killed his parents. In addition to 2 counts of first-degree murder issued by the Sheriff's Office, Bricado faces counts in California for possession of a loaded, unregistered firearm, possession of an assault weapon, and altering or removing a serial number on a firearm, according to the SO. After tracking Bricado's van, the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office alerted several agencies in Southern California area about the van, and Bricado likely being in the area. He was reportedly in custody a few hours later. At about 7:45 p.m. Friday, Los Angeles County Sheriff deputies observed a parked van that was flagged as a suspect vehicle by the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office. The van allegedly contained an assault rifle, shotgun, pistol, as well as body armor. Bricado is being held without bail as he waits an April 8th court appearance at LAX Municipal Courthouse. Bricado's parents were found dead after a welfare check. When deputies arrived at an Eastwood Drive house at about 1 p.m. Thursday, they found a dead woman identified as Priscilla Bricado. Several hours later, public information officers announced they had also found the body of her husband, Mark Bricado, on the property. A Gonzales woman pled guilty Monday to receiving child sexual abuse material produced by a photographer she arranged to take the images, according to the release of the United States Department of Justice. 40-year-old Hannah Kinchin pled guilty to 1 count of receipt of child pornography. She's scheduled to be sentenced on July 15 by a federal district judge and faces a mandatory minimum penalty of 5 years in prison and a maximum penalty of 20 years. Citing court documents, the release said Kinchin coordinated with a photographer who self-identified as a pedophile to set up photo shoots for the minor victim's modeling career. During the photo shoots, Kinchin helped the photographer take lewd photos of the victim. The release says the photographer then sent most of those images to Kinchin through a file-sharing website, some of which qualified as a child pornography that were later sold. The FBI New Orleans Division Baton Rouge resident agency investigated the case. It was brought as part of a nationwide initiative by the U.S. Justice Department to combat child sexual exploitation and abuse. A man who terrorized his Baton Rouge neighbors for months was sentenced to life in prison for killing his neighbor in 2022 after showing no signs of remorse Monday as he stood before a judge. 37-year-old Henry Williams III killed 25-year-old Ronald Duff in broad daylight late the afternoon of May 14, 2022 in the 500 block of West Chalfont Drive. After he barricaded himself inside his house and armed himself to the teeth, firing shots at SWAT officers who responded during a chaotic standoff. The jury found Williams guilty of the charge on November the 11th. After listening to 3 days of testimony at his murder trial, Williams railed against LaDuff as his relatives sat in the courtroom. He accused the deceased man of being a thief who attacked him and said he was forced to shoot LaDuff in self-defense. Prosecutors called Williams' claim completely inaccurate and asked for the maximum sentence. District Judge Fred Cosisi, who presided over the trial, gave Williams a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole for a second-degree murder conviction. The judge ordered him to serve another 25 years apiece for the 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder and absorb 10 years into the sentence for illegal use of a weapon during a violent crime. A looming state law could mean Louisiana teenagers will soon be forced to prove their age and get their parents' permission before they can log on to popular social media apps like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. But a legal battle is underway to block the restrictions which were slated to take effect this summer. State lawmakers enacted the Secure Online Child Interaction and Age Limitation Act in 2023. The bill invokes an age verification mandate upon social media companies with more than 5 million account holders worldwide. That means major online players like Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit have to make commercially reasonable efforts to confirm the ages of users across the state who are registered to be 16 years or younger. Those underage will need parental consent to create a file or log on to social media sites here in Louisiana. The law was originally set to take effect July of last year, but another bill that passed during the last year's legislative session amended the reforms and pushed the date for enforcement to begin. The changes are now set to take effect July the 1st.
Actually, we have a show coming up.
Now, the
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
as legal drama
That'll
plays
be May
out
9th through 11th.
in court. Born in New Orleans
Yes,
and
sir.
adopted at 8 weeks, Elise Lewis
I
found her
will.
birth
I
parents
will.
in 1996.
Cast
She
list is
was
hopefully coming
28,
out today,
but something
tomorrow.
important was missing, her birth certificate,
But,
with all the details it contained. A 2022 law gave Lewis other adoptees in Louisiana the right to obtain it. When the birth certificate arrived in the mail, she said,
But
I
the
literally
thing
burst
is,
into tears.
I
said
want to
Lewis,
get us out to
who
the
grew up in
community
Baton Rouge,
first
but now
and
lives in
gain
Minnesota.
the community's
She says it
trust
was the
before I
most
start
emotional
saying.
thing. I saw my mother's handwriting, and I felt like I was complete. I didn't have any secrets anymore. Others have used the law to find
They're
and
starting
meet
to
their
build
birth
their-
mothers. About 1,650 people in Louisiana have received their birth certificates since 2022. According to the state health department, adoptees have to be at least 24 years
Yeah.
old to request it.
Yeah.
And finally, Buc-ee's,
Yep.
the Texas-based megastore gas station chain known for its
Did you know she was on the
full-size,
Jennifer Hudson
pristine
show?
bathrooms and proper
Yeah.
food products won't be
She sang with Jennifer
a
Hudson.
construction site for
Yeah,
much
Zayla's
longer
amazing.
in Harrison County, Mississippi.
It's
set to open
somewhere.
June 9th.
I'll find it.
Putting the bill
Yes,
live
sir.
as
But
executive director
it's
of the
somewhere out there.
Harrison
She
County
was
Development Commission on Monday, located at past
Zayla's
Christian Minge Avenue
fantastic.
exit on Interstate 10. Buc-ee's will be one of the largest in the nation, spanning 74,000 square feet, with 126 gas pumps, 24 electric vehicles, charging station, and 165
Sing, she can act, she can
toilets. One of my
dance.
favorite things
Very
at
talented.
Buc-ee's is their taffy and, of course,
The Norwalk
their
Conservatory.
barbecue beef, brisket, breakfast burritos.
Yes,
I'm Tony
it's
Brown.
very
That's your
selective,
statewide
and this is just from
You
what
can
I know
use
about
on
it. They
Terrific
have like
Tuesday,
maybe
April the 8th for Eyes
I
Open
think 30
Radio,
people
11:10
they
a.m.
take per year.
KTTP and
Yeah,
FM
like their
107.5
acceptance rate
The
is
Vibe.
super tiny.
Have a great and a
And
blessed day.
fortunately, actually, we
Louisiana
had two students
Cardiovascular
go.
and
Her
Thoracic
and
Institute's
another
Wound
one
Care
whose
Clinic
name's,
is a top-of-the-line
Danny.
wound care facility. Our wound care
cannot
clinic has
remember his last
expert
name.
providers and access to the latest wound care treatments and
yeah, they
technology.
both got accepted,
If you've
and
got
then-
existing wound concerns, diabetic risk, or black toes, you have options. And
Also another
LACVT's
one
wound care
to be
clinic
looking
may
out
be your
for,
best option to avoid
from
amputation.
Ash.
We offer
Jalen
advanced
Williams.
treatments, outstanding outcomes, and
when
we
you saw
accept all
Color Purple,
insurances.
he played Mr.
For more on how we can help you heal, call 318-442-0106.
Especially nowadays.
Not this one. And he's been doing it
All
since
right,
he was
it's
itty bitty.
Tuesday, April the 8th. Let's go to Lake Charles, Louisiana, where we have meteorologist Marty Calhoun with the National Weather
They
Service
don't
out of Lake
understand.
Charles. Hey,
Doing
Marty, how you
cheer,
doing?
doing dance, doing theater. Those are the
It's
ones.
kind of cold. I mean, past couple of days since that cold front came in, and you know, I thought it was going to be here just maybe for a day, but we're driving again. We got sweater weather, and we got the heat on. So what's going on with this forecast?
26.
Oh, yes, I'm enjoying the weather.
Yeah.
You guys are sitting in the mid-40s.
Yeah, we are.
It's going to be beautiful weather.
Yeah, it was about
all
11,
throughout
12.
This week. It's going to start to warm up
Most-
today,
yeah,
so you're
pretty
gonna
much
have high in the
most
low
of my high
70s,
school career I did it.
mid-70s by Wednesday, but back in the lower 80s by Thursday. So generally warmer, but it's going to be dry and beautiful.
Okay, that California-style weather.
Oh, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, we've been a washout the last 3 weekends. As we take a look at the extended forecast for the weekend, are we going to see more rain this weekend?
So we do have another cold front that's going to cool front, dry front, whatever. It's going to come through Thursday
I
night
don't have
into
time.
Friday.
I'm
So
too busy
highs
working.
in the low 80s Thursday,
Mhm.
upper
Yes, sir.
70s on Friday, but it's going to be a dry passage, so that means dry
Yes,
weather
sir.
for the weekend.
All,
Fantastic.
all of
Now I
my
have to pull the
uncles have
grill
said
out,
the
right?
same thing. They're like,
yeah.
oh,
Just
Lord.
get out there,
I know.
soak this weather up, man. It doesn't get better than that.
What do you like on the barbecue grill? What's your favorite?
Don't
can't beat
worry.
grilled shrimp.
Oh, I
Come
know.
on, come on. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say ribs.
I
Give me
survived
some
college.
ribs, some baby backs. That's what I'm talking about.
True.
So shrimp,
Stop it.
so shrimp and baby backs. That's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to do the shrimp in honor of you, okay?
All right. That
Yeah,
sounds
the
good.
industry
You
is
have to let me know how
really
it goes.
building.
Absolutely. Take care, Marty.
Thanks, Tony.
All right, Marty
Yep.
Calhoun, meteorologist with the National Weather Service out of Lake Charles, saying finally, we're going to have a great weekend. So it's going to be a great weekend to get some sunshine on your face. That's your Tuesday, April 8th forecast.
Oh, don't worry. I already clocked in. They know where I'm at. Yes, sir. Also, yes, sir.
All right, we're back right here in your premier morning news magazine. Glad to have back in the studio with us no stranger to Eyes Open. I feel like the proud uncle. I really do. Talon Dearborn was my second Eyes Open teen reporter. the entire time that she was at Ash, at least 3 years. She took it to the next level, and I'm glad to have her back. She's gone and got her degree from Tulane University.
Yes, sir.
Came back home. I don't hear her for some reason, but came back home. Can you hear her, babe?
I'm here. My headphones are off, though.
Okay. Yeah, that's, let me get that straight.
Testing. There we go.
You got them?
I think so.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. There it is.
Okay.
That's
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, girl. And like I said, you were so bubbly and animated and just a great, you're just a great student. Your parents loved on you. They supported you 100% because you did a whole lot in high school and you did a lot in college.
Oh, I did a lot.
And you're still doing a lot.
Still doing a lot. Still very involved.
So tell me about
and busy.
this position that you have at the Rapides School Board.
Okay. Well, I am one of the talented theater instructors through JB Lafargue. I am itinerant. I get to see students at several different schools, and basically what I do is I teach talented theater, which is it's an extension from the Gifted and Talented program.
Okay.
Where basically we work with students independently or sometimes in like small groups. But what we do with them is we are building and honing the gifts that they have in visual and performing arts. Now, the Talented program is separated into 3 entities. You have the visual arts.
Okay.
You have music, talented music, which is separated into both vocal and instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have talented theater, which is what I teach.
The acting and fun. Everybody wants to be an actor. But, that's really to nurture that talent, because back when I was in high school, you and I were talking a minute ago, and we're talking about, over 40 years ago, many school districts cut band, they cut choir, and now what we're seeing is a resurfacing, if you will, of those programs, because once you start cutting those kind of programs, it doesn't allow the students to grow academically, because we know we need some balance. You can't just learn math, calculus, this, that, and other, and not have a way to express yourself in an artful way. And when you cut those programs, it hurts a student's development.
It really does, because actually they say that students who have their education in the arts do better academically.
Yes.
There's a stronger retention point in school. They learn better. They're able to activate kind of both sides of the brain, both the creative side and the more studious side. And I mean, I would go so far as to say I might be a little bit of a testament to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you are. I mean, you did a lot of stuff in theater, not only in high school, but also in college. And for God to bless you with this particular position where you're actually nurturing and grooming students' theatrical talent is just a blessing, and it's right up your alley. It's not even like a job to you. You're getting paid to do what you love to do.
I am, and I'm very blessed to be able to do so.
You are so, and they're great to have you. So let's talk about this production that's coming up on the April the 17th. It's going to be at Ash.
Yes, sir, it is. So our talented theater students from all the different schools are getting together to do the Adventures and Dreams Showcase.
Okay.
So basically what it is it's a collection of scenes, songs, monologues, and so much more from all of our favorite movies, musicals, plays.
Oh wow!
And the
kind of like a charcuterie of theater.
Yeah, a charcuterie of theater.
So
I like that.
Have a lot of everything. Like she says, monologues. You're gonna have some acting. You're gonna have people doing some singing. So how did they select what would be performed when y'all had auditions? Am I right? How did that work?
Well, basically because we're working with the students independently.
Different schools.
Yeah, different schools.
Okay.
Different schools.
Okay.
So we meet with them kind of on a semi-one-on-one basis. Sometimes I have smaller groups of students, but basically what we do is we figure out, okay, how can we play to their strengths? And usually we'll pick scenes or songs or what have you, and the theme kind of comes together from that. So a lot of the things that we were working were actually scene studies we did earlier in the year, just when we were kind of learning, okay, how do we block a scene? How do we kind of hone the craft, understand our character? And eventually when we decided, okay, we're going to do a showcase this year, this is the theme that kind of sprung from it, and the kids are really latching on to it. They're very excited.
How many students do you have involved in this particular production?
In this particular production, I want to say there are 36 involved students.
Nice. And I know it's kind of hard a lot of times, even when they have off-Broadway or small community theater, to get men and young boys involved.
Yeah.
Are we still the minority in theater, men?
Well, they do say girls are a dime a dozen. So yeah, men are still the minority, but we've got quite a few young men in this program, and very, very, very happy to have them, and happy to have them involved in theater. They seem to really be, like I said, taking a shining to acting and performing, and we're blessed to have them.
Well, that's fantastic. Again, folks, it's the Adventures in Dreams Spring 2025 Showcase. Of course, I'm kind of partial to Talon Dearborn.
Oh, thank you.
How's the family doing?
They're doing great. They're doing great.
Your little brother?
Yeah, he's 17.
Come on now.
Yeah, he's a
graduating
junior.
real soon.
Yep, he'll be graduating next year, and so proud of him. He wants to do football, so that's really exciting.
That's fantastic. He had an awesome big sister. You always looked out for him. And your family, they just, I can't say enough about your mom and dad.
Yeah.
I see what happens when you raise a child in the way that they should go. And I remember you being young people coming up to you, grown people, and asking you to pray for them. So she's a God-fearing woman. God gave her a talent, not only to perform theater, but now to work in theater. So y'all go out and support. It's absolutely free.
Yes.
The doors are going to open, about 5:30?
Yep, doors will open 5:30. We'll start at 6 o'clock.
On time.
Yep, right on time.
And again, folks, that's going to be April the 17th. That's a Saturday?
That's a Thursday.
That's a Thursday.
That's
So
the Thursday
night.
before we get out for spring break. So
Got
that
it.
Thursday before Good Friday.
So I'm going to make a sacrifice because, 2 hours after y'all start, I'm usually in bed like a baby. But I'm going to make a sacrifice and come out, me and Bianca, because I want to see it. And just, you supported this program, and it's only right that we support you.
Oh, thank you so much. And it's so good to just even come back and visit.
Yeah.
Like, I was reminiscing about all the reports and things.
Well, you were great. I mean, you had interviews, you interviewed teachers, fellow students, talked about swimming safety during the summer.
Oh, yes.
It was always timely, and now you're an expert. So now I'm glad that you're home. So one day one a week when I take off, I'm going to have Talon come in and fill in.
Okay.
And do my show. I know you can do it.
I'll do my
So
best.
would that be cool to Talon to come in? Okay. So I was kind of thinking, and having a younger person, absolutely. And I'm serious. I'm telling you right now. So, yeah, I'm serious. And I've had a couple of people that have been able to fill in, but I think you would be a great fit, and I'm going to let you produce your own show. You can set up your own interview.
We shall see.
I'm going to help out, but I'm going to let you know I'm taking a vacation in July. And for, at least a few days, I want to bring you in and nurture your talent and have you do the news, have you do everything that I do.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe one day when I can just sit down and
I got some students for you, definitely.
You do? Okay.
Yeah,
and I want interns as well. I want to teach them how to this business. Again, the technical aspect, what Miss Q does. I need some children or some students who are very smart on the computer, because everything now is computerized.
Yeah.
And who have the talent like you do.
Thank you.
So thank you. God bless you. And we look forward to Adventures in Dreams. It's the Spring 2025 Showcase, brought to you by the Rapides Parish School Board Talented Theater. They're presenting this at ASH April the 17th. Doors open at 5:30. The production starts at 6. It's going to be at Alexander Senior High School Auditorium, and it's absolutely free. So if you got some children, bring them in to come see this.
Yes,
come
very
support
family
those
friendly.
36 students that are in this production, and just come see some great talent, some great local talent presented by the Rapides Parish School Board, and of course students from various high schools throughout the district.
Well, high schools, elementary schools, middle schools.
Okay.
I got them all.
Oh, wow. Nice. Well, you keep doing what you can bring that music up to you. You can keep doing what you're doing, sweetie, and we love you. Anytime you want to come back, you got that.
Yes, sir.
All
Love
right.
y'all too.
All right. Talon Dearborn, Rapides Parish School Board Talented Theater Showcase, April 17th, 6 p.m. Alexander Senior High, Adventures and Dreams. More eyes open when we come back. Thank you for coming, baby.
Thank you, and good morning.
My daughter. And good morning.
my fellow Americans that your President Donald Trump...
Nah, not that president. I'm talking about the tax president. H. Wonder Isidore from Exact Tax. President Isidore has been doing taxes for 3 decades. More than 20 years in the same location. That's 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem. Meet the tax president is dedicated. Plus, he's hitting his customers with the audit protection at no charge. And you know you need that protection. Not to mention, H. Wonder Isidore was voted Who's Who Professional of the Year for tax business service the last several years. And when you file with Exact Tax, register to win more than $50K in prizes, a new car, including TTNL. So if you want your taxes done right, on time, with the most easy advance refunds approved and dropped in your account within a few hours, hit up Exact Tax, 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem, or call 318-483-6463. That's 318-483-6463.
Go see Exact Tax and I approve this message.
Louisiana Cardiovascular and Thoracic Institute's Wound Care Clinic is a top-of-the-line wound care facility. Our wound care clinic has expert providers and access to the latest wound care treatments and technologies. If you've got existing wound concerns, diabetic risk, or black toes, you have options, and LACVT's Wound Care Clinic may be your best option to avoid amputation. We offer advanced treatments, outstanding outcomes, and we accept all insurances. For more on how we can help you heal, call 318-442-0106.
Out with the old, in with the new, as Showtime Furniture is making all your furniture and appliance needs come true in 2025. This month, pay only $25 down and get an additional $25 off your next 3 monthly payments on any new rental agreement. Yes, you heard it right. A $25 down payment gets you an additional $25 off your next 3 monthly payments on any new rental agreement. Get a living room, bedroom, dinettes, big screen TVs, and more. When it comes to home furniture, appliances, or electronics, Showtime has what you need and only for $25 down. As always, no credit check, free delivery, free service, and up to 9 months, same as cash lease options available right now. You need it, we got it. Save that money with Showtime and visit us in Alexandria today at 3717 MacArthur Drive at Lee Street, right behind the Burger King. It's $25 down payments and $25 off all agreements for the next 3 months on top of 9 months, same as cash options at Showtime Furniture in Alexandria. Like Boss Man says, let them have it, baby. Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers now has convenient locations to better serve residents of Central Louisiana. Now you can get affordable medical, dental, and mental health care at 1217 Willow Glen River Road and 605 Brown Bend Road in Alexandria and 1007 Shirley Road in Bunkie. If you need quality health care for your baby from prenatal, during pregnancy, and up until adulthood, then look no further than Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers. Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers continues to be the affordable, timely answer to all your family's healthcare needs. All services are available to anyone regardless of their ability to pay. You or your family will never be turned away. Rapides Primary is a certified KidMed site with a sliding fee scale. Payment is based on income and size of family. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance is accepted for all medical services. For appointments and information on all medical services, call 318-487-4400. That's 318-487-4400. Rapides Primary Healthcare Center, now with 3 locations to better serve Central Louisiana. A new beginning to quality health care.
Hey, my darlings, it's Stevie D, and I'm getting ready to come your way. Alexandria, Pineville, join me every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on FM 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 a.m. KTTP. It's the Zydeco Workout with Diva D, so get your boots on the ground, darling. And it all happens right here every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 a.m. KTTP, the heart and soul of Sinlock.
Saturday, April 19th, for the first time, Paragon presents Yes Itself plus Christopher Williams. And it's all hosted by Primetime DJ Premier. Live Easter weekend, Saturday, April 19th, 8 p.m. inside the Murray Showroom at Paragon. You got to get that ticket right there.
I am there, baby.
KTTP 1110 AM is the official voice of the Peabody Warhorse Radio Network. Download the KTTP app today in the App Store or on Google Play. This is Ice Open with Tony Brown on FM 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 AM KTTP Alexandria Pineville.
right, Eyes Open News Time, 5 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock. Should we open up your mic real quick? Isn't it just great to see talent? Grown woman now.
Yes, she's outgrown.
You feel like the auntie? You feel like the auntie?
Yeah, it really don't seem that long ago.
No, it doesn't. She was like 11 when she became my teen reporter, and she did it when she got to high school, all the years at Ash. So she was with us for about 3 or 4 years. It was just great to see her have gotten her degree from Tulane to come back home and now working with this special theater program with the school board. What a blessing. Yeah, it's just letting us know, Q, we getting old, girl. But guess what? We still look good. Y'all know black don't crack. It don't. Q, you get them jeans. That's from your grandpa. I looked at that man. I was like, man, he don't have a wrinkle on his face. Not one. And hard body. I was like, dang, Pop, you still got to go her now. You were wisdom in the country boy. You keep it moving. That's how you're going to look. Absolutely. Top of the morning to you on this great, beautiful Thursday morning. Right now we're in the mid-40s. The temperature's going to get up to about the 70s. The humidity is not going to be a factor. It's going to be beautiful California weather. So make sure you throw on a sweater. It's not going to get any hotter than the 70s. Tomorrow we could get up to the 80s according to the National Weather Service. But this weekend, it's going to be a remarkable, beautiful weekend. A great weekend to 5 Degree. So I'm thinking about them Reds, Q. Think of some baby backs. But I do want to remind y'all about the big catfish dinner, Martin. Martin, come by and buy a couple of plates on Saturday. We're going to do a panels on the bayou. It's for the Cap Alpha Psi Scholarship Fund. Fresh catfish dinners, potato salad, green beans. And I know you can come. I know you can get about 5 dinners. We feed everybody. Get all the way from the sister, everybody. Jimmy. Get one for certainly our baby girl. I'll get one for Sandy. You. So that's 4 at least coming from Mark. I'm telling Mark what he want to buy. My boy, though. You want to talk a little bit about our deal? You want to talk about our deal? Because I do have the Jim Inkster interview. I'm going to be playing that coming up. Mark and I were blessed to be able to have an opportunity to get our FM 107.5 Divide back. Come sit down real quick, Mark. Let's do that. Because, I gave Jim Inkster the interview. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do an audible. Get Jim Inkster ready right now. I want to go to it right after Martin and I talk. But any event, for the people who know and have been listening, right now we're having some technical problems with our AM. That's okay, but thank God we have the app. So just download our app. It's 24 hours, clear digital sound. And we're hoping within a matter of a month or so, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, to have the FM back up and running with the blessing of the FCC. So Martin Johnson is the founder of Radio 2 LLC. And I always ask him, why Radio 2? He said, I don't mind being number 2. And we're talking about, of course, the Radio 1, which is a big operation. Got started with Miss, I'm trying to think of her name. God dog it, it'll come to me. Kathy Hughes. But it was her daddy that started in a little AM station, and I think it was in Washington, D.C., if I'm not mistaken. And they started with that one, Martin, and now Radio 1 has about 300 stations nationwide. So she's basically bought up a lot of urban-oriented stations. But getting back to us, Martin and I were blessed to be able to have the only 100% commercial radio station that's locally owned, that's 100% African American owned. So what a blessing to have that. And it's been a ride, Martin.
Absolutely.
It's been a ride.
And Tony, just so you have a little more history.
Okay.
When I formed Radio 2, of course, I'd heard of Kathy Hughes and Radio 1. I was the number 2 online. That's why we're wearing these frat shirts today.
Okay.
So yeah, so I said.
So they took the number 2. Okay. I didn't know he had the 2 because you was number 2 online. Okay. I was number 6.
Yeah.
So you know what that means, huh?
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means it takes 3 of you to make one of me.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I just joke. That's just a frat talk that we talk.
We talk.
But I love the Q's. Martin and I have been business partners for over a decade now. Been knowing each other for 20-some years since we both got here. but we had an opportunity with the grace of God, and Martin went and got Radio 2 signed up with the Secretary of State almost 3 years before he got me. So you said you had gotten this, you stepped out on faith, and you had went and applied for the station, even though there was no station available, and you hadn't even discussed it with me. So was this some sort of prophetic thing that you had, or God put it in your heart?
Absolutely. Many years ago, we had formed our Central Louisiana Business League, actually in 1992.
Oh, man, I love that.
And I remember when I moved to Alexandria, we weren't really getting many contracts from the city of Alexandria and the local government authorities.
Yeah.
So we had to move to get qualified African-American business owners and professionals contracts.
And on the boards, local boards. Yes.
To serve on the city council.
Yes.
When I first
Police
moved
jury, school
the city
board,
council was
Gator,
5 white men and 2 black.
England Authority. I mean, you and Bridget Brown were founding members of the board.
Myron and George Thompson were the
George.
two black.
Oh, Mr. George.
Yeah, they were the 2 original
And then you
board
and Bridget.
members.
Okay.
Bridget succeeded George Thompson, and I succeeded Myron.
And
Myron was police jury, I think.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah, he had taken the late Mr. Bill Kristoff's spot,
Right.
and the family chose him to come fill the expired term.
Right.
And I think he ran again, unopposed maybe, and won. But even with you became, because Myron was on the England Authority prior to you.
Yep.
And now his son has just gotten appointed. Congratulations to Myron Keith.
A few weeks
ago. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. But you were actually chair of the England Authority while you were there.
I was chairman, and actually we extended the golf course from 9 holes to 18 holes.
Yep.
And so it's on the Audubon Golf Trail.
Nice.
And then we built the airport.
Yeah, but you served on so many boards, and God put you in a position to serve, and some people call themselves, but when it came to you and a lot of people that I know with the talent that God has given you, people call you. And it's nothing but divine. People always want you to serve. Sometimes you got to say no, which is very rarely that you say no. And you probably you served on the Cabrini board for several years. I think you're in St. Mary. You still on that board?
Still on St. Mary's board.
Because that's really near and dear, that board, to your heart,
right,
of helping that school out there. So you've done a lot.
I used to be St. Mary's banker.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And then they later asked me to serve.
I don't know how many boards, but I know you spend a lot of time on boards helping the community, because that's really what you're
Giving
all
back
about.
to the community is important.
Because your daddy put that in your moms, instilled that in you guys, all of y'all.
Always give back.
And I the same way. That's why you and I connect, because we both, our mission and our mantras, first of all, is to serve God, and with that, to serve our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've been doing a wonderful job. So you got this Radio 2, and you got that license 2 or 3 years, and then God, for whatever reason, pushed me out of my comfort zone and said, hey, I've been trying to give you your station for years, and this is the way that I'm going to do it. Or, Lord, okay, I'm going to submit. I'm going to humble myself. And I did. And then we went over and you negotiated a deal with KTTP. And after about a year...
No, it was within 90 days.
Within 90 days?
Within 90 days, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, gave AM stations the ability to
translate their signal to FM.
It was within 90 days.
Within 90 days. So that was definitely divine, because the FCC had been getting a lot of complaints from AM radio station owners for almost 30 years, since the 70s. When FM really got powerful in the late 60s and early 70s, everybody wanted to hear stereophonic. Even the stereos. And AM kind of went by the wayside, because the first radio station were all AM. And then FM came the stereo, and then it became more of the music format. The AM became more of the news or the gospel or, church programs, or kind of obscure. So they had to find their niche. And many of them complained to the FCC that they had a disadvantage in the market, which was true. And after 30-some years of contemplating what to do, they developed a system where we can apply for a construction permit to translate our AM signal to FM. So rather than going and issue out licenses, and most of them were low power. I think, what was it, 200, 250 watts or something like that, which is big enough for Alexandria and Pineville, but it also allows us, because our KTTP license is has some stipulations that it's only a sun up to sundown station, and we go off the air when the sun goes down. But because of the advent of social media and the app that Miss Q, got to give hats off to Miss Q, she's the one that keeps this whole thing together. Martin and I are just the front people, but Q is actually the boss. We can't do without her. She can do without us until she wants her paycheck. It's all good. Y'all just trying to get, but Q, all these computers in her face, and she works not only for Eyes Open, but she works for the station. We're doing a wonderful job and developed that app, which gives people the ability to listen to the station 24/7 nationwide. So it's an incredible thing. God just kind of shows us so much favor, Martin, that he puts people and things in our path that gives us the increase. Even, if we think about something, next thing you know, we get a knock on the door. We were just talking about that. So that happens to us all the time.
Absolutely.
We're not surprised by it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the favor that God gives. So we had favor. And
our God is able.
And we constructed got the translator, got a permit, constructed it. We had 3 years to do it. We did it in about 8 or 9 months. We were up almost 2 years before the deadline. And it was during the pandemic. Martin and I went and got on the computer and applied for our license. But during that process, when many of the FCC workers were working at home because of the pandemic, for whatever reason, they didn't receive it. So, we were rocking and rolling, had the FM up until the FCC sent an investigator after they got a complaint from a local station. I'm going to go ahead and say that, who complained that we were operating an illegal station. Now, we had a license. We went through the process. We had the construction permit. We constructed it. But the final process that we thought the FCC had gotten, they didn't. And they were sending all of our mail for almost 2 years to a former attorney that used to work for us, but who had retired. So we weren't getting our correspondence. So not only did you have the pandemic, they weren't giving us our correspondence coming from them, and our mail wasn't getting to us. But God revealed it in an email. You got a red flag email stating that our station didn't complete the process of after constructing it and getting the license. So we thought we filled it out, but apparently they didn't get it, and that's where we were. And they came down and told us to pull the station, but we're still paying fees on that station to the FCC every year.
Still paying
on a signal that they had deleted. They actually deleted the station. And I think they did that by accident. So when we went up and we asked them to open the process back up so that we can go ahead and fill out the application for the license, because the station is already built. Now we got to do is turn on the button. But we have to follow their procedures, their rules and regulations. And people told us, even the attorney, after they rejected us and said, no, we're not going to open up the process. And they used a particular statute to tell us no, and to say why they're not opening it back up, that really should not have applied to us and that we didn't even ask for. So our case, after they rejected us, Martin and me had the audacity to say, you know what, that's not right. We called an attorney. What's our attorney's name up in D.C.?
Just paid him.
We just paid him again. But anyway, we hired an attorney. Donald Martin, he did a wonderful job.
Did an excellent
job. And he put it together and had precedent cases of where they extended the permitting process to TV stations, but they had never done it for radio stations. And he gave precedent. So what the full commission of the FCC unanimously voted that, yeah, maybe they didn't get their license in time, but guess what? We're going to open up the process to allow them to go ahead and apply for the license. So we won. And we maybe find something, but that's okay. We'll pay that fine, and I'll smile like a possum eating sweet potatoes. But what we didn't know is our case went to the full commission. It's like the Supreme Court of the FCC. And they unanimously sided with us. Unanimous, all of them. And we're talking about the Trump administration. We're talking about Mr. Carr, who's the secretary of the FCC. You know, we thought we'd have a little favor since we're both Democrats. We didn't support Trump. They told us no and applied a no based upon something we didn't ask for that shouldn't have applied to us. So they made a procedural error, and then the FCC said, you know what? They asked the question, Martin and I and our attorney asked the question that we have never been asked before. So in the 91 years they've had the FCC, no radio station had asked this question that we asked, and they didn't have an answer. They didn't have an answer because there was nothing in their procedures to address our issue. So after we showed them that y'all did it, we're just asking y'all to be fair. Y'all allow TV stations to come and extend to get their license. Y'all never done it for a radio station. And our argument was not only is there a legal precedent several times, but they didn't have a uniform policy of being fair. And we said, we just want y'all to be fair. And after they read that, and the fact that our station is an asset to the community. I think my show, we included what we do, some of the GINA stuff, because the FCC ultimately wants to have fair and objective and balance in markets. So if you got a market that's all playing left, right-wing, MAGA radio, or, like a Rush Limbaugh or Moon Griffon, these people that love Donald Trump, there was nothing to balance it. And the stations here, many of them, that play black music are white-owned. I'm just letting y'all know. Y'all think they're black-owned if they're playing black music? No, and hell to the no. They're not. So you're going to these stations spending money, and that money is going someplace else. It's not staying here. It's not staying here. I don't care if it's Mix 93.9. I don't care if it's KAYT. That money, KAYT money, goes to Cocoa Beach, Florida. Mix 93 money goes to Shreveport, where the majority owners are. So I'm letting y'all know it's about the money. It's about being local. It's about staying here. And I think they realize that not only were we providing a great asset to the community of information, weather, news, politics, health, and education, and the show really did that. They looked at that too, that they needed some balance in this market, because y'all know we're in a red state, we're in a MAGA-loving state, and all of that all came together at the same time, and we did the impossible. Not only did we win the case, but it got picked up by some radio trade magazines, and two separate reporters wrote stories about it and said that this might be a small rural station in Mayberry, but the significance, and these are people who stay in Mount Pilot, the people that know the big city, but the significance of this case will have great historical ramifications for stations who find themselves in similar positions with the FCC, because the FCC now had to write in and write a definite procedure that we asked for, because it wasn't in there now. So we set a legal precedent. So Radio 2, number 2, is now in the history books of the federal government, the FCC, and we did something David beat Goliath, because everybody, including our attorney, said, hey, the chances of beating the FCC, like I said earlier on Jim Inkster's show, you'll hear the interview coming up next, the FCC is kind of like my wife. You can argue with them until you're blue in the face, but they're going to always be right. Yeah, I said it, Q. Look, you going to call my wife and tell her what I said? Don't call her. But anyway, Martin, God bless you. Thank you. Anything you want to add to that?
We thank God for his favor and for having a commission to look at our request.
Yeah, wow. When Trump came in the office, Martin, I said,
unanimously.
I called you and said, man, well, we dead in the water, I think, Martin. I did. I mean, Martin, oh man, Trump, he got a new guy in there, but guess what? We wasn't, and we had faith. Your faith was stronger than mine, because after 2 years, I was like, man, what's going on? What's the holdup? Just tell us no. But they didn't tell us no. They said yes. And David beat Goliath. So thank you for that. And, I said it was prayer, patience, and persistence.
Perseverance.
And we persevered. Prayer, patience, persistence equals
perseverance.
There it is. Thank you, brother. God bless you. And that's the whole story, y'all. So our FM are going to be back up shortly. And right now I want to go to a live interview we just did on Louisiana News Network with Jim Inkster, because he was interested in the story too. We're going to go to that. More Eyes Open right after this report.
And in Alexandria, Louisiana, he's definitely in a minority sometimes, but he and Martin Johnson own a radio organization, and it involves two stations, KTTP 1110 AM and FM 107 The Vibe. And they got into a dispute that the FCC was involved with, and went all the way to the director, Brendan Carr. And this is with the Trump administration. And the dispute actually, I think, started during the Biden years. And surprisingly, these two African-American gentlemen got a favorable response from an administration of which they have not been supportive of. And it's one of those stories that I think in this age of political tumult, this actually was a bipartisan moment. And Tony Brown, your thoughts about what happened?
I just want to say God bless America. We stand here today victorious, Jim, because through incredible obstacles and odds, with prayer, persistence, and perseverance, we were able to do what many people said couldn't be done. You know, we stand as David going against a Goliath. And the FCC, if you know anything about them, and I know you do, Jim, with all your experience and dealings with them, that the FCC is kind of like my wife. You can go up against them all you want, but they're always right. So we had an opportunity to really do something that we didn't think would set some sort of legal precedence for other stations, particular radio stations who may find themselves in the same situation that we're in.
Well, Tony has been an on-air presence in central Louisiana for about 4 decades. And this dispute did not involve programming per se, did it? It involved a translator, your FM translator. What was the contention by those who were trying to put you down?
Well, I'll let Martin go ahead and address that.
Martin Johnson?
Yes, so we were approved about 5 years ago to build, we had a construction permit to build the FM translator. And we got that completed probably within 9 months of being approved. And then we started communication with the FCC, I guess it's the Media Bureau, and we were in communication with them via email. This was during the the COVID period. A lot of them were working remotely, and we used to talk to them. But we had email going between them and us, and thought we had completed the license process. And so I guess it was probably within another year and a half, Tony, someone reported that they didn't see a license for us. Now, we've been paying for our license, Tony, even the last 2 years while we've been
while the plug was pulled.
Yeah. And look, we are very comfortable. We were very comfortable going in that we had done everything right. But the Media Bureau declined our application. So in any event, we were successful recently with getting a favorable ruling from the Trump administration.
Under the Biden administration, though, you actually got turned off at one point, didn't you?
Well, we actually had an inspector that came down and turned us off, said that we hadn't completed the licensing process, as Martin had just mentioned. And it was during the Biden administration in which they denied our request to extend the construction permit to allow us to complete the process. Although, as Martin mentioned, we had actually finished building the FM station almost 2 years prior to the deadline. But it's an oxymoron to me that, we thought that we would get some sort of favor from the Biden administration. And when Trump came in, I told Martin, oh my goodness, I think we're going to have more of an uphill battle. But, what's really incredible about it, and just kind of speaks to the volumes when you have, you're on the right side and you don't give up, is that the entire full commission heard our case, and they unanimously agreed with some points that we certainly didn't do some things right, but at the same time, they needed to change their procedures, because we asked the question that apparently in the 91-year history of the FCC that no one asked.
Well, would it be fair to say that most of these commissioners probably voted for Donald Trump?
I don't know. I can't speak for that, but I will say this. Certainly it was prayer, persistence, and God that allowed us to really, after 2 years of Martin, of really fighting this thing, we just didn't give up. We thought that we were right, and apparently the full commission thought that there was something to what we were requesting, and of course we set this precedent.
So Jim, I've served on many boards, and since President Trump just got in office, we would assume that certainly the person that he put over the commission was one of his appointees. Now, whether or not all of the board had been replaced that quickly.
Of course, he has also a term that he had in which he would have appointed some members too. Most
Absolutely.
likely. But it is a remarkable development, and I'll give President Trump his due. It appears to be a correct decision. These translators, AM is, of course, a medium that is now going by the wayside gradually. But a lot of these AM stations, like WWL in New Orleans, they get an FM translator, and it enables them to get an audience they probably would not receive otherwise, and you're in the same boat.
Correct.
And somebody challenged, I guess, whether or not you were a valid operator, and they lost and you won.
Well, absolutely. And about 25, 30 years ago, AM radio station owners had been telling the FCC that they had a disadvantage in the market. Certainly when FM came in, everyone wanted to hear everything in stereo. And of course, as you mentioned, AM went by the wayside. It's usually some gospel station or some sports programming or even news programming. It's usually on AM. So right after we obtained the license for KTPP 1110 AM, lo and behold, about 30 days after we got the license in our name, the skies opened up, the heavens are lined up, and the FM, the FCC said AM stations now that qualify can go ahead and apply for construction permits to translate their signal from AM to FM. So we got in at the right time, at the right moment, and allowed us for 40, 50,000, whatever we put into it, to translate our signal to FM. We built it in accordance to their rules. We applied for the construction permit. We received it. The contention came in is that they said that we passed the deadline, and there was another process of us after we built the translator that we had to apply for the license, and that's where the gray area came in.
Well, you do provide a voice that probably is not heard on radio in law. It is a unique perspective because, as we know, radio in general across the country, even in big markets that are considered liberal, is often dominated by conservative voices. It would be nice if we could bring the fairness doctrine back. I think that would be a good thing.
Absolutely. Not only that, I think part of our appeal with our attorney in Washington, D.C., is that we certainly have to give him some credit. But one of the sticking points of them to consider us again is that we were providing a service that wasn't being provided in Central Louisiana. We had a lot of far right-wing radio that was on the air, and when I initially put this program on the air more than 23 years ago, April 15th actually will be my 23-year anniversary, I got tired of, the Rush Limbaughs and the Moon Griffons and the like, this far right stuff, and I said, you know what? Our audience deserves more than song and dance, because when you hear radio nowadays, they may play urban music, but they're not owned by African Americans. So we are the exception to the rule where we own the only 100% African American owned station that's locally owned in all of Central Louisiana. So it's been not only an uphill battle to keep the station on the air, but from an advertising standpoint, we're in the area, Jim, I know you know this, it's 12 years of slave territory. That's where Solomon Northup was kidnapped and brought to Central Louisiana, where he worked as a slave for 12 years. So I'm in the heart of Central Louisiana, where they had more lynchings between 1900 and 1950 than any other place in the state of Louisiana. So despite all of that, God has allowed us, with just being prayerful, just being grateful, to persevere. And here we have another case in which we persevered despite all the odds.
Well, congratulations, Tony Brown and Martin Johnson in Radio 2, and it's been a pleasure to have you in studio today.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you coming this way. We're back after this. This is...
You're listening to Eyes Open with Tony Brown. Serious talk for serious people.
everyone. I'm Tony Brown. This is your statewide news you can use on this terrific Tuesday, April 8th. News today being brought to you by Louisiana Cardiovascular and Thoracic Institute, LACVT, now wound care certified. A man who was wanted in connection to a 2024 homicide case in Alexandria is in jail this morning in Texas. The shooting happened, as a matter of fact, he was picked up on April the 6th, according to the Alexandria Police Department. 29-year-old Demarion Shorts has been located in Dallas and transported back to Alexandria. He was booked into the Rapides Parish Detention Center on account of second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder. According to the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office, his bond has been set at over $2 million. APD said Shorts was sought in connection with the September 17, 2024 homicide of 58-year-old Verna Francis in the 3800 block of 3rd Street. The driver in a hit-and-run that killed 1 person and injured 3 others turned herself in to the Baton Rouge police Monday morning. We first told you about this earlier this week. 34-year-old Taquincia LaShawn Harris was booked on 2 counts of felony hit-and-run, deadly or serious bodily injury, 2 misdemeanor counts of hit-and-run driving, 1 count of obstruction of justice, and 1 count of careless driving. Around 3:15 a.m. on March the 30th, Harris reportedly driving a blue Chevrolet Trailblazer when she struck 4 pedestrians attempting to cross Plank Road near Brady Street, killing 22-year-old Derricka Stewart and seriously injuring another person. The 2 other pedestrians sustained minor injuries. Police were later able to confirm Harris was driving 52 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone at the time of the impact. After Harris allegedly fled the scene in her SUV, she later dropped it off to a body shop. The owner told police Harris told him she had struck a deer. According to an affidavit provided by the Baton Rouge Police Department, detectives were later able to match the debris from the scene to the blue Chevrolet Trailblazer Harris dropped off at the body shop. Additionally, a witness provided police with video showing Harris in the driver's seat of an SUV in the parking lot of a club near the site of the crash. Timestamp confirmed the video was taken shortly before the fatal crash. She apparently drove home and may have been inebriated. Police probably did do a blood test on her. The son of a couple found slain at their A-Mead home last week was allegedly wearing green military-style attire and had 3 guns when he was arrested in Los Angeles Friday, according to the Tangipahoa Horror Parish Sheriff's Office. 34-year-old Joshua Bricado had been missing since his parents, 75-year-old Mark Bricado and 66-year-old Priscilla Bricado, were found dead in their home on Eastwood Drive Thursday afternoon. Authorities first sought him as a person of interest, but said late Friday afternoon that warrants had been issued for his arrest and the killings. In addition to 2 counts, yeah, that's right, he killed his parents. In addition to 2 counts of first-degree murder issued by the Sheriff's Office, Bricado faces counts in California for possession of a loaded, unregistered firearm, possession of an assault weapon, and altering or removing a serial number on a firearm, according to the SO. After tracking Bricado's van, the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office alerted several agencies in Southern California area about the van, and Bricado likely being in the area. He was reportedly in custody a few hours later. At about 7:45 p.m. Friday, Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies observed a parked van that was flagged as a suspect vehicle by the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office. The van allegedly contained an assault rifle, shotgun, pistol, as well as body armor. Bricado is being held without bail as he waits an April 8th court appearance at LAX Municipal Courthouse. Bricado's parents were found dead after a welfare check. When deputies arrived at an Eastwood Drive house at about 1 p.m. Thursday, they found a dead woman identified as Priscilla Bricado. Several hours later, public information officers announced they had also found the body of her husband, Mark Bricado, on the property. A Gonzales woman pled guilty Monday to receiving child sexual abuse material produced by a photographer she arranged to take the images, according to the release of the United States Department of Justice. 40-year-old Hannah Kinchin pled guilty to 1 count of receipt of child pornography. She's scheduled to be sentenced on July 15 by a federal district judge and faces a mandatory minimum penalty of 5 years in prison and a maximum penalty of 20 years. Citing court documents, the release said Kinchin coordinated with a photographer who self-identified as a pedophile to set up photo shoots for the minor victim's modeling career. During the photo shoots, Kinchin helped the photographer take lewd photos of the victim. The release says the photographer then sent most of those images to Kitchen through a file-sharing website, some of which qualified as a child pornography that were later sold. The FBI New Orleans Division Baton Rouge resident agency investigated the case. It was brought as part of a nationwide initiative by the U.S. Justice Department to combat child sexual exploitation and abuse. A man who terrorized his Baton Rouge neighbors for months was sentenced to life in prison for killing his neighbor in 2022 after showing no signs of remorse Monday as he stood before a judge. 37-year-old Henry Williams III killed 25-year-old Ronald LaDuff in broad daylight late the afternoon of May 14, 2022 in the 500 block of West Chalfont Drive. Afterward, he barricaded himself inside his house and armed himself to the teeth, firing shots at SWAT officers who responded during a chaotic standoff. A jury found Williams guilty of the charge on November the 11th. After listening to 3 days of testimony at his murder trial, Williams railed against LaDuff as his relatives sat in the courtroom. He accused the deceased man of being a thief who attacked him and said he was forced to shoot LaDuff in self-defense. Prosecutors called Williams' claim completely inaccurate and asked for the maximum sentence. District Judge Fred Corsisi, who presided over the trial, gave Williams a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole for a second-degree murder conviction. The judge ordered him to serve another 25 years apiece for the 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder and absorbed 10 years into the sentence for illegal use of a weapon during a violent crime. A looming state law could mean Louisiana teenagers will soon be forced to prove their age and get their parents' permission before they can log on to popular social media apps like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. But a legal battle is underway to block the restrictions which were slated to take effect this summer. State lawmakers enacted the Secure Online Child Interaction and Age Limitation Act in 2023. The bill invokes an age verification mandate upon social media companies with more than 5 million account holders worldwide. That means major online players like Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit have to make commercially reasonable efforts to confirm the ages of users across the state who are registered as being 16 years or younger. Those underage will need parental consent to create a file or log on to social media sites here in Louisiana. The law was originally set to take effect July of last year, but another bill that passed during the last year's legislative session amended the reforms and pushed the date for enforcement to begin. The changes are now set to take effect July the 1st of this year. Now, the start could be further delayed as legal drama plays out in court. Born in New Orleans and adopted at 8 weeks, Elise Lewis found her birth parents in 1996. She was 28, but something important was missing, her birth certificate, with all the details it contained. A 2022 law gave Lewis other adoptees in Louisiana the right to obtain it. When the birth certificate arrived in the mail, she said, "I literally burst into tears," said Lewis, who grew up in Baton Rouge but now lives in Minnesota. She says, "It was the most emotional thing. I saw my mother's handwriting. I felt like I was complete. I didn't have any secrets anymore." Others have used the law to find and meet their birth mothers. About 1,650 people in Louisiana have received their birth certificates since 2022. According to the State Health Department, adoptees have to be at least 24 years old to request it. And finally, Buc-ee's, the Texas-based megastore gas station chain known for its sprawling-sized, pristine bathrooms and popular food products, won't be a construction site for much longer in Harrison County, Mississippi. It's set to open June the 9th. That according to Bill Lavers, Executive Director of the Harrison County Development Commission, on Monday. Located at past Christian Minge Avenue exit of Interstate 10, Buc-ee's will be one of the largest in the nation, spanning 74,000 square feet with 126 gas pumps, 24 electric vehicles, charging station, and 165 toilets. One of my favorite things at Buc-ee's is their taffy and, of course, their barbecued beef brisket breakfast burritos. I'm Tony Brown. That's your statewide news you can use on this terrific Tuesday, April the 8th, for Eyes Open Radio, 1110 a.m. KTTP and FM 107.5 The Vibe. Have a great and a blessed day. That's wild. That's what I'm talking about, Sha. What y'all know about that? Yes, introducing Darlene Wesley, my homegirl from Lake Charles, Louisiana, debuting her popular radio program, which has been on the air in Southwest Louisiana for more than 2 decades now. Zydeco Workout with Diva D. Welcome to the Radio 2 family, sis. How you doing?
Good morning. Thank you. I'm doing well. So I said, bonsoir.
That's what I'm talking about. And you know, Darlene and I go way back. In fact, I was reminding her that her husband and I, her husband is my frat brother, and of course, went to McNeese, Epsilon Phi. I remember back when I was in college, I actually pledged him and his older brother, John Wesley. But we all grew up together there in the Terrace, and we went to Oak Park Junior High. I didn't know you back then, Darlene, but
I wasn't there. I migrated from down east to come to McNeese after high school. So I wasn't even in Lake Charles.
Now, where you originally from? Eunice?
I'm originally from Sunset, Louisiana.
Oh, Lord. Sunset. Come on. Real country, old Creole girl.
And then we moved to Lafayette for a little bit when Eric and I got married, because I just started my radio career back in 96.
Nice.
And, you know, he was out in Dallas. I didn't want to go there. I told him, you want to marry a Louisiana girl? You know, move to Louisiana.
Come on.
So he did that. And the rest is history. But, yeah, so.
And y'all been married for how long?
Ended up moving to Lake Charles.
And how long y'all been married now?
29 years.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I'm going on my
29 years. I wouldn't trade him for a brand new anything.
Now I know him when I know his childhood nickname. We called him the Bird because he could fly. That boy, he was a basketball dude.
The little skinny legs and all that. I had some of that at McGee's. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a jumper. He reminded me. He was smooth, finesse. He could hoop because he came from a hooping family. You know, his brother John and the older brother, they all could hoop. They went to LaGrange, unfortunately. I was at Lake Charles High, but in any event, we all grew up together. But let's talk about you. Now, you say you started your radio career, and you started it at KZWA?
No, actually, I started at Lafayette.
Okay.
At the time, it was 106.3 KFXZ. Ooh, I remember the call letters. That's amazing. But yes, and actually, I started doing talk radio. Just what you're doing in the morning.
Okay.
Drive time talk radio from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Issues, and a wonderful lady, Joyce Evans, who's now over at Grambling State University working with students in radio and TV and all that stuff. She saw something in me and said, hey, I'm going to Grambling for a couple of weeks. I want you to sit in and do my show. And I'm like, who, me? And she said, yes, you. And I'm like, I can't talk to people for an hour. She said, girl, you can now talk Oprah. Go ahead on and sit in this show and do this job till I get back. So I pulled in one of my professors from USL at the time.
Back in the day.
Dr. David Craychan, and he sat in with me. We did it and had a great time. And, you know, the whole situation behind getting into that job was that when I was on campus let me back up a little bit. I was on campus at USL in student government, very active, brought a lot of people on campus, like Dee Gregory, Dr. Maya Angelou, Ozzie Davis, Dr. Jawanza Kanjufu, Susan Taylor, I mean, you name it, and I got them all on campus. I had them to come and speak on campus during certain celebrations that we had. And every time I did that, I always brought them to her show.
Come on.
So she said, oh, you can do this. You've been doing this. I didn't see it, but she did. And then when she got ready to leave and go to Grambling, she said, well, I need you to sign this paperwork. And I'm like, what paperwork is this? I was just sitting in for 2 weeks. She said, no, this is like your W-2, W-4, whatever it is. And she said, you're going to do this show from now on. And Todd Sterling, who was the GM at the time,
I remember
he was standing right there, and he was like, yeah, Dee, just sign. We already knew you were going to give us a fight. So just go ahead.
Just sign the paperwork.
We filled everything out.
And the rest is history. Now, let me ask you this. Now, so you transitioned from the talk, because I know music and, you know, being a Creole woman, that's your passion. Yeah.
I transitioned when I came to Lake Charles, because I started here at Cumulus with Z16 when I first came to Lake Charles, and then I worked with the mayor's office. I always did radio and another job. Radio was like something I fell in love with after a while. I worked with Mayor Randy Roach's office for 10 years. But I did the Zydeco show, and then on Z16 I was doing sort of interviewing guests, but putting in music, and a lot of it was gospel and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my feet wet with the music because I'd never done that. And then I came back, and Faye Brown Blackwell called me. She heard there was a little black girl in town that was ready to get some stuff done. I'm like, I don't know who told her that, but she called for me. I went there, and I've been there. I was there for 27, 20,
oh, wow.
I don't know, 20-some years. Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, so you have actually...
And I just made a transition to another radio station. With Town Square Media, and then I'm in Lafayette on the air. So I keep myself busy with music and Zydeco, old school Southern soul. I love it all.
Well, you know what?
Love it.
What I really like about you, not only having more than a 30-year career in the business, because, you know, a lot of people that started when we started out are no longer in the business, but what a blessing for us to have it. Because, you know, with you and I, Darlene, it's not even a job. It's just something that we love to do, and to get a check on the side, man, that's just the bonus, right?
Hey, that's I'll take it.
A little lanyard. Because I tell people when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, to me, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun because there's always something different. But what I really like about you and following your career, because, you know, I've been in and out of Lake Charles, but following your career is your connection that you have with the Zydeco talent out there. Everybody knows you. Everybody who is somebody, if they've cut a record, if they pressed a record, you give them an opportunity not only to play that music, but you sit down and you talk to them so that we can hear more than their music. We can hear what they're going through, what it took for them to get where they are, and how they can motivate other people who want to get in the same industry.
Absolutely. I think that's vital, because when you know, people start, especially when we're talking about Zydeco, because it's localized, so localized throughout this area. You know, I want to play an accordion. I want to have a band. And sometimes that's great, but sometimes, well, that accordion's great, but let's work on this. And I don't mind telling them that, and they love me for that. When I did that, because I was honest with them.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's been amazing. Rusty McGuire is one example.
Yeah.
Rusty was in high school, and he's doing amazing with his career right now. I know he's been to Alexandria a few times, and he's all over now.
Yeah.
He's right here in Lake Charles doing well, got a #1 album. I mean, every weekend Rusty is somewhere. And when I first went to that show, he was in high school. He invited Eric and I to go. And I said, well, Eric, I think the playing is great, but he's going to have to work on this and that and that. But he was only in high school.
Yeah.
But he listened, he learned, and he did the work. And so I don't mind sharing the little I know. I won't say I'm an expert in it, but what I do know, I don't mind sharing. If they want to know the truth, I will tell you the truth. Because that's the only way we can
you are an expert in it. You know music. You got the ear. You know what people like. So I mean, it's only natural that you're able to mentor younger people who want to get in the industry, because you knew that his vocals weren't there when he was in high school, but he had to get stronger on his vocals. Now he could play, but I'm gonna show you how small a world it is. I know his daddy. Me and Russell McGuire grew up going to St. Hubert Church over there in Gosport when we were children. I was growing up in the projects off of St. Mary's Drive. Me and Russell became friends, and then later on, Russell went to St. Louis, but I played football. He did with the Brown Boys at Lake Charles High with his younger brother. So we all know each other, and I knew Russell. And then when I heard about Rusty, I said, that got to be Russell's son, and sure enough, absolutely, that's his daddy. So I know the daddy. Then me and Russell go way back. He was actually one of my best friends when we were in grade school. So, you know, that's how small, you know, me and who's that, Cravens that has the Zydeco Extravaganza. I know you talked to him.
Donald and his brother Charles, and now Dustin's in there.
Yes.
The family's moved down east with them.
Well, I think he's listening too. So, you know, matter of fact, he's coming to visit, and I pitched to him that I said, you know, I'm starting.
Senator Cravens.
I say I'm starting the Diva D show on my radio stations. As a matter of fact, this Saturday we're going to be debuting. He said, what? And he said the same thing you just said, small world. I said, because we all connected, everybody who's like in this business. So I just want to welcome you personally to the Radio 2 family. Of course, I want to remind the listeners here, you can download our app. Our app is 100% free. It's available. You can check out the Zydeco Workout with Diva D, kicking off and debuting right here in Central Louisiana on FM 107.5 The Vibe at 11:10 a.m. KTTP. She's going to be with us on every Saturday from 11 until 2. Every Saturday from 11 until 2. And sis, we're so glad to have you.
Well, I'm so glad that I'm going to meet some great people in Fenway, Pineville, Alexandria. We got a little family down there, the Williams family on my husband's side.
Okay.
So I know they'll be listening, Georgia and Early. Hey. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just love spreading the music. I love spreading the culture. And, I remember one time the great Mr. Wilbert Guillory, when he was alive, and I was doing a few things with him. He used to put on the Plaisance Zydeco Festival, which was the granddaddy of them all at the time.
I remember Mr. Wilbur when he first started that.
Zydeco Extravaganza took that over. But he was afraid that the culture was leaving us, that the people didn't really want to hear it as much as they used to, or the young people didn't gravitate towards it. That is completely different now. I wish Mr. Guillory could see it now, because everybody loves Zydeco.
Well,
it crosses all barriers, all age groups. I have listeners from 2 to 92, or 2 to 102 sometimes. So it's been a great journey. Not something I ever thought I would really do, because I thought talk radio would be the thing for me. But when I fell in love with Zydeco, I fell in love.
The rest is history. Well, the rest is history. So we, again, welcome to the family. I mean, that's funny you mentioned Mr. Wilbert Guillory. I remember him when he first started that thing out. He came up on my show when I started this product. Matter of fact, I'm making my 23-year anniversary of the radio show on April the 15th. 23 years we've been on. Started with 1 hour buying airtime on one station, and now we're on two stations.
You're doing so well, Tony.
Well,
congratulations on all of your the great things you're doing.
Well, you talked about it. Faith without works is dead. But you can have faith, but you got to put in the work, and
you've got to do the work.
And to God be the glory. So tell the family I said hello. Tell my frat brother I said yo. Tell your son, who's is my understanding is going to soon be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I'm looking forward to seeing him this week.
I can't wait till it's over.
Well, you tell him his Uncle Tony going to be looking for him this weekend. Okay.
I will definitely let him know. I definitely will.
You take care, sis, and we'll see you on the radio.
You bet.
All right, darling. You take care. We'll talk later.
Great morning. Bye-bye, guys.
All right. You do the same. That is, of course, Darlene Wesley, also known as Diva D, with the Zydeco Workout, debuting right here on 11:10 a.m. KTTP and FM 107.5 every Saturday, starting this Saturday from 11 to 2 p.m. Y'all definitely want to check it out. More eyes open when we come back. Don't go away.
You know we got it.
It's 58 minutes past our 8 o'clock. We're going to extend the program for just a minute this morning. We're waiting on Christopher Williams. Yes. So slide on in Eyes Open Show as well as Silk. So y'all stand by. We'll have a live interview with Christopher Williams. Of course, they're performing live at the Paragon Casino Resort. Of course, the premier DJ Premier, is going to be the host DJ for not only the concert, but also the after party. And I think all those tickets are going fast, folks. Go online, get your ticket to the concert. They are going fast. And the after party tickets are online as well? Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that. I'm saying we can get you the hottest ticket in Louisiana right now. But in the meantime, here's a little show for you. Good morning. hottest ticket in town is going down at Paragon Casino and Resort. I have Primetime Premier DJ Keenan in the studio. Premier is in the studio with us this morning. Keenan Maldo. What's up, DJ Premier? How you doing today?
How you doing, man? I am doing great, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man, this morning. And I tell you, man, I am so blessed to be here, man. Listen, we have so much in store for you. April 19th, Easter weekend. It's happening all at Paragon Casino Resort, man.
How to second in town. Let's go round to my man. I tell you what, he's my brother from another mother. I'm talking about none other than the man you're hearing right now, Mr. Christopher Williams. Chris, welcome to Eyes Open with Tony Brown and FM 107.5 Live and 11:10 a.m. KTTP. How you doing today?
Good, man. How y'all doing, man?
We're doing that, man. Look, we are so excited to have you, man. I mean, it's been a minute since you've been in Louisiana, but I don't think you've ever been up here to Central Louisiana.
I've not. I just left Shreveport with 50 Cent now, and I love Louisiana. We've done Lake Charles and a few other places. A lot of times at the plays, but I haven't sang in Louisiana in a minute, so I'm honored to be coming back. I'm glad Premier's bringing me down. Plus, I get to share the stage with my brother Silk. It's gonna be hot.
Man, I tell you what, ain't nothing like that old school, the stuff that you guys did, certainly in the 90s, knowing how to rock the club. I mean, you guys have music that's just timeless. You know, we don't have the crooners like you guys anymore. I mean, you, Lil G, with Silk, I mean, y'all were crooners. And, you know, what happened to the old R&B crooners, Chris?
They still around. They just doing it. You know, they just, you know, it's like when hip-hop came out, man. We had our style, but, you know, we do, I will say this. You know, it is different. They aren't the flat-footed with the cool last steps. It ain't really about the direct romance, but they got a different message. They're living in different times, but there's a lot of great young artists. I mean, you know, Bruno Mars, Andy Pack, Chris Brown. There are some guys out there, and the crooners like even Avery Wilson, young guy who's you know, just coming up and about. So, and the girls are killing it. Summer Walker and Jonathan Sullivan, a list of them. Ellie Mae, I'm missing a few of them, but there's a plethora of young kids. But it's different now. It's no different than like in the 90s we was doing it our way, but it was a little closer to what the forefathers did, like Jeffrey Osborne, James Ingram, and Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway, even back to even going as far as Billy Eckstine, and people like that. It's just, I guess it's where music is evolving, and it is a little different because there's a lot of words and songs, and you got to keep up with it.
Let me ask you this, and Ken, you can weigh in on this. The message has changed. You guys were telling a lot of romantic stories. I mean, the kind of music you could just turn on, you know, open up a glass of a bottle of wine, light some candles, but the message and the type of message you guys were telling stories about romance, have we gotten away from that in your experience?
I think a little bit. I don't know how Cuban feels, but I think a little bit. But they're just saying it again. I think they're just saying it in a different way. And I think in the 90s, the truth is like the 90s groups, whether it's Boyz II Men, Jodeci, Silk, we were just trying to get straight to it. Honestly, you know, whether it's Ivy Shaw, Bobby Brown, we was trying to get straight to it, and we in those times we had to do it in a way we couldn't really just say whatever. You know, we couldn't say like, "Can we fuck?" I mean, no disrespect to my boy Tank. I love Tank. You know, Tank is amazingly talented and you know, still changing and killing the game. And I love that Tank is a businessman too. So I think everybody just skins the cat a different way, and there's room for all of us. But I do love that the live music is coming back. Yes. I think that there's people who have preserved it that are underrated, like the Rashawn Pattersons, the Blurlays, and we got the young dude Raheem Devon, who's really dope. And so it's really evolving in good hands. I just think that as it's transitioning and evolving to us owning it, we've got to find the ways to get to the people that love our music, direct to consumer, and give them a better value point for the music and, you know, the shows. And I think that's coming back because, you know, we see Anthony Hamilton again. Look at all the different people I'm bringing up. Fantasia. You've got Lettucey and Marsha Ambrosius on tour. You got the Queens on tour, Patti LaBelle, Chaka Khan, Stephanie Mills, Gladys Knight. So I just think that we need to, we now, the people, like we like and all the other stuff going on, we got to take responsibility for the ownership of it.
Yeah. Ken, let me ask you this, Premier. How difficult was it to get these guys here? Because I know in Central Louisiana, it's almost like a wasteland of entertainment, but to get a caliber of a Christopher Williams and a Silk here in Central Louisiana, that must have took some doing.
It did, Tony, and I think that, you know, we are so accustomed to, you know, listening to a lot of just a lot of different music. I feel like the R&B is definitely coming back. We had to do some convincing, man, and be able to take a chance on people where, you know, not only Silk but Christopher, man, and a host of others, man. We have to bring back R&B. It's never died. It's just the fact of the matter is, again, social media has evolved so much, and it's always you just have to preserve that, Tony.
Absolutely. And of course, let me weigh in on what he said about social media, digital media. We know the game has changed. You know, back when you guys were coming up doing music, I mean, you know, we still had cassette tapes. Then we transitioned to CDs, then MP3s. How has it changed? And have artists like yourself, outside of going on tour like what you guys are doing now, are y'all still able to get a return on your investment? Are y'all still making money? Because we know distribution and publishing is where the money is, certainly according to the radio industry. And Prince said it, you know, he put slave on his face. He said, you know, y'all go front people, y'all got the albums, y'all might sell 1 million or 2 records, but the money just wasn't there for you guys.
Yeah, you know, it goes right back to what we were just saying, the ownership. It's actually a great time to be alive in music.
Okay.
In life and period. I know we're up against a lot. But now it's time to get back to indigenous mindset and the ownership and the deep evaluation of what they say and the evaluation of what you say. So again, if you love your music and you know that the Creator's giving you a gift and you wanna monetize it, then do it. You don't have to wait for them to say, okay, you can have a record deal anymore. And that's what's different. So now it's even better. So for pertaining to legacy artists, we have to just get out of the mindset of, may I do this, or I don't feel right unless I'm with the distribution house. They don't do anything.
Oh, wow.
They don't do anything. You can take your own money, market your own money. So that's where the advantage of the digital platform. Now, the disadvantage is obviously the situation with streaming, but most of us legacy artists like myself, I just got my license of reissues back in '96. So I mean, literally in 2023, I got all my license and reissues back from all my music, and they still won't settle till 27 because that's when the window's up with the Library of Congress. So it's difficult, but at the same time, now my masters and my music is coming back to me. I just got my first check for Dreaming last year at Valentine's Day. My first check last year at Valentine's Day.
That's crazy.
The answer to your question is yes. The old systems are broken.
Yeah.
But we've got to now take part in building the new systems all over. Whether it's, we see everything that's going on, and it all pertains to music. Because the truth is, man, music heals all this other stuff.
Amen.
The frequency of sound, it just heals all the discord that's going on in the world. And I hate you, you hate me.
Yeah. Right.
You hate red, I hate blue. Right. You hate white, I hate black. You know, there's a lot of really disproportionate fallacies and lies that have been really, that have a lot of people concerned. And I think music is going to be a big part in healing that. And I think that, you know, artists taking control of their careers. Again, no record companies were checking for Layla Hathaway. No whole team were checking for Layla Hathaway. They went out here and created an amazing show, an amazing experience for people to take an hour and a half, 2 hours out of their life to come enjoy the show, and they're happy about doing it. And people like her and Charlie Wilson, no record companies were checking for Charlie Wilson. Mm-hmm. Charlie Wilson was checking for Charlie Wilson.
Right. Absolutely. And you know, same way here, I'm glad you gave us so much insight. I mean, that's crazy to me. Almost 40 years after you made that hit and so many other hits, you're now getting a return on your investment and your hard work. But it's here. You're here to enjoy it. But of course, you got to say there's many artists who are no longer with us, who never got paid, and maybe their posterity, their children or their grandchildren getting paid. But I'm glad that you say there's hope, it's positive, and the artists are now being paid what they're worth?
Well, we're fighting to get it. Like you said, rest in peace to a lot of that, especially my sister Angie. I personally knew her twice.
Angie Stone.
Rest in Paradise, Angie Stone.
Yeah.
You know, Angie is like an enigma in the business. She, you know, again, maybe you're right. Maybe her daughter and her son Michael will receive what is owed to her. And maybe, you know, as a whole nation will heal about this false stuff in the economy, what we're doing with our money, how powerful our money is, how powerful we are in solidarity.
Absolutely.
So not for hate, for truth.
I mean, I tell you what, God bless you for your wisdom. God bless you for still being here. And Ken, I'm feeling where they're going to be able to see Christopher Williams performing live in just a matter of days.
Paragon Casino Resort, man. Maury Showroom is going down, for real.
All right, Chris, what would you like to say to all of my listeners here in Central Louisiana, my brother?
It's going to be a glorious, sexy night, ladies. I want y'all to come out. Like I said, my man Big G, Little G, John, and the rest of Silk, they're going to be in the house, and you know they're going to tear it down. And I'm going to warm it up, Chris. I'm about to. I'm going to warm it up for my boys. That's what I was going to do. So come out. Don't miss it. It's going to be an amazing event. And we want to keep bringing entertainment to this amazing casino you guys got down there.
Absolutely. That's none other than Christopher Williams performing live again with my man, Primetime DJ Premier and Silk. The whole gang's going to be here. It's the hottest ticket here in Central Louisiana. You can go online to Paragon. What's your website again, bro?
ParagonCasinoResort.com. E-tickets, go on there, hit the Silk and also Christopher Williams tab, and you'll see it. Let's go and hit them tickets, man. Get them tickets now, man. Come on.
Absolutely. And Chris, man, we're going to look forward to seeing you. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm getting backstage to come to take a picture with you, brother, okay?
Yeah, let's do it, man. We got to pop one off for sure.
Absolutely. Chris Williams, God bless you, man. Y'all be safe, okay?
Peace, yo.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, Christopher Williams again, folks, live right here on Eyes Open with Tony Brown and FM 107.5 The Vibe, 1110 AM KTTP. Premier, man, God bless you. Thank you for hooking that up, bro.
Yeah, look, man, I appreciate you. Look, we got Silk that's want to call in right now, man.
Where you want to go? Okay, well, I tell you what, y'all stand by. We're going to have more Eyes Open when we come back. Don't go away.
Wound Care Clinic is a top-of-the-line wound care facility. Our wound care clinic has expert providers and access to the latest wound care treatments and technologies. If you've got existing wound concerns, diabetic risk, or black toes, you have options, and LACVT's Wound Care Clinic may be your best option to avoid amputation. We offer advanced treatments, outstanding outcomes, and we accept all insurances. For more on how we can help you heal, call 318-442-0106.
Hey, I need to speak to the president.
Hello, my fellow Americans. It's your president, Donald.
Nah, not that president. I'm talking about the fake president. H1 the Isidore from ExactTax. President Isidore has been doing taxes for 3 decades. More than 20 years in the same location. That's 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Heat, right next to Eminem. Meet the tax president is dedicated. Plus, he's hitting his customers with the audit protection at no charge. And you know you need that protection. Not to mention, H1 the Isidore was voted Who's Who Professional of the Year. Business service the last several years. And when you file with ExactTax, register to win more than 50K in prizes, a new car, including TTNL. So if you want your taxes done right on time with the most easy advanced refunds approved and dropped in your account within a few hours, hit up ExactTax 2005 Lee Street, Sweet Beat, right next to Eminem, or call 318-483-6463. That's 318-483-6463.
Go see ExactTax, and I approve this message.
Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers now has convenient locations to better serve residents of Central Louisiana. Now you can get affordable medical, dental, and mental health care at 1217 Willow Glen River Road and 605 Brown Bend Road in Alexandria and 1007 Shirley Road in Bunkie. If you need quality health care for your baby from prenatal, during pregnancy, and up until adulthood, then look no further than Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers. Rapides Primary Healthcare Centers continues to be the affordable, timely answer to all your family's healthcare needs. All services are available to anyone regardless of their ability to pay. You or your family will never be turned away. Rapides Primary is a certified KidMed site with a sliding fee scale. Payment is based on income and size of family. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance is accepted for all medical services. For appointments and information on all medical services, call 318-487-4400. That's 318-487-4400. Rapides Primary Healthcare Center, now with 3 locations to better serve Central Louisiana. A new beginning to quality healthcare.
It's your girl Diva D, making my sin-law debut with my new show, Diva D's Zydeco Workout. Join me every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on your favorite station, FM 107.5 The Vibe, and 11:10 a.m. KTTP. Get ready, Alexandria, Pineville. I'm your Zydeco Southern Soul and old school diva. So get ready to take a musical ride with me, right here on your favorite station.
April 19th for the first time, Paragon presents Plus Christopher Williams. And it's all hosted by primetime DJ Premier. Live Easter weekend, Saturday, April 19th, 8 p.m. inside the Murray Showroom at Paragon. You got to get that ticket written.
I am there, baby.
KTTP 1110 AM is the official voice of the Peabody Warhorse Radio Network. Download the KTTP app today in the App Store or on Google Play. This is Ice Open with Tony Brown on FM 107.5 The Vibe and 1110 AM KTTP Alexandria Pineville.
Cell, 2G, 2000 watts, yeah. Every meeting in my bedroom. So girl, please don't be late. Every meeting in my
my rollie, girl, I see it's almost time. Oh yeah. I hope you're getting ready, girl, and don't forget the wine. How long don't tonight is just for you and I, and it's gonna be so fly.
So fly. What? I like having you around, so I gotta put you down. So be there or be square. Ever meeting in my bedroom. So girl, please don't be late. Ever meeting in my bedroom. So please don't make me wait. There's a meeting in my bed. Step into me, casa, lay it down, Come on in, baby. Yeah. Got a little something for my sexy mama. Been checking for you since day one. You're my booty, you're my sun. You're my star. You shine. Yeah. Girl, you're cheeky and you know that I'm feeling your steam. Be there, be square. Ever meeting in my bed. So girl, please don't be late. Don't be late. Don't be late. Don't be late. Ever meeting in my bed. So please don't make me wait.
All right, we're back right here in your Premier Morning News Magazine. Right here on Eyes Open, FM 107.5, The Vibe, 11:10 a.m. KTTP, talking about the hottest ticket in town. We have in the studio with us this morning my man, Primetime Premier, DJ Premier. Welcome back, my friend. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much for asking, man. Man, I tell you, we got something very, very special for all the people out there, man. We got this nice R&B 90s concert coming to Paragon Casino, man, with Christopher Williams and the big Silk. I'm telling you, man.
Man, I tell you what, one of my favorite songs is Reading in My Bedroom. I tell you what, I turn that on, my wife is ready to go. That's what I'm talking about. And guess what, folks? We got them live right here. We got the whole crew. We got Lil G, we got Zoe, we got Jimmy, we got John, we got Big G. Hey, welcome to FM 107.5, The Vibe, Eyes Open with Tony Brown Radio, guys. How y'all doing today?
Oh, man, wonderful, everybody.
Man, you know what? I know how busy you guys are, but to get all you guys together in one place outside of a concert is a miracle. So, and I know it's early in the morning, because I know artists like y'all said, man, y'all sleep in until about 12 or noon or 1 o'clock. So especially when y'all doing shows. So thank y'all. Let me start with Big G. Big G, man, how you been doing, bro?
Life is good, bro. I can't complain. Life is good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so where are you located now? Where you at, Big G?
Right now, I'm in Maryland.
Okay.
I feel like I'm all over the place all the time.
Where you in, B-Mall or what?
Ellicott City, right outside of Baltimore.
Yeah, okay, well, fantastic. Okay, well, fantastic. And Lil G, how you doing, brother? Lil G, I'm going to tell you this, man. Last time I saw you, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, you were in Alexandria, and I came up and had a drink with you in Mona's place. You remember that, Lil G?
Yes.
You was at Mona's place. It was me, you, Tony Groove, and a whole bunch of ladies I didn't know. but the fact that you came, the fact that you came to Alexandria, Lil G, and you came solo, you just came out to hang out and to meet your fans, and man, that just speaks volumes. That speaks volumes to me as a person who owns a radio station and see an artist just come in to connect with his fans. So hats off to you. When you did that, I was like, man, this dude just came in. He wasn't performing, giving a concert. He just came to wish out. He was invited, and you came. So, Lil G, man, that's the caliber of the guy you are. Man, we really appreciate that, and we appreciate you guys coming in just a few days.
Thank you so much, man. Very excited about that, man. Because we love to come to the places where we don't normally get to go all the time. You know what I mean? You know, the big cities and everything, that's cool.
Yeah.
But we really see the love and really see the energy, you know, from cities like this and from the casinos and stuff like that, man. It's going to be on fire.
Well, I'll tell you what, one question I have for you. Can you still hit them high notes, brother? Can you still hit those high notes?
Well, see, what's going to have to happen is to see, you know, to come on able to make change.
Yes.
To find out.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, y'all gonna find out. Let me go to Zoe. Zoe, how you been, man? What's going on with you?
I've been great, man. No complaints, man. Just enjoying everything that we got going on now, you know, 30-something years later.
Man, that's amazing.
Can't complain, man.
Well, you know what?
I've been with my brothers out there on the road. We're going to come to your city. We're going to hit the casino. We're going to do our performances, and we're just going to enjoy it. We're going to have a good time.
Absolutely.
Everybody should come out.
Absolutely. Hey, John, man, you know, when you have so many groups that break up after the first 10 years, but for you guys to be together for more than 30 years, still be connected, still have a relationship, and still perform, you know, how are you guys able to sustain that relationship? Obviously, John, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I'll start off by saying it's definitely, you know, God definitely has to be involved.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, you know, you got 5 different guys, 5 different personalities, and you know, and thoughts and whatnot. And I think over the years we come to respect each other, see each other's opinion, you know, going in. I think, you know, God put us together, man. When people ask that question, all I can attribute it to is just, you know, it being meant to be. I know that's kind of cliche, but, you know, it's one of those things where I truly believe that God put it together, and that's why we're still, you know, doing what we're doing to this day, man, and we love it, and we love doing it together, and hope to continue for many, many years carrying, and looking forward to this show.
Absolutely. Hey, Jamie, let me go to you, Jamie. Hey, Jamie, you guys been together, you know, 30-plus years when y'all were performing at the height of making all these super hits back in the 90s. I mean, you guys are, you know, 30 years older now. What has changed, in your opinion, from in the music industry, Jimmy?
Man, been around this long, you just really respect the game and the industry for what it is, and you play to your strengths. When you get to an age like this for us, when you've been around a long time, you play to your strengths, and you follow through, and we just pray to God, man, and stick together.
Man, I tell you what, y'all one of the best R&B groups. Y'all are timeless. Lil, I got to tell y'all, man, when I put a Silk record in, I know I'm getting lucky. I know I'm getting lucky that night. With my wife of 28 years. So that's, you know, my wife, let me correct it, with my wife of 28 years, she know when I put the Silk record on, she already know. When she hears me in my bedroom, she gonna put that 90 on. So y'all have to kind of, look, I appreciate y'all still helping the brother, man. Thank y'all. Well, look, VJ Premier, man, God bless you for getting these guys here. We had Brother Christopher Williams on earlier. I mean, 2 dynamic performances that we haven't seen in this area ever. So we're asking people to come out, show up and show up, man. Yeah.
Listen, man, we can't wait, man. We got a good time with the third going.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's going to be awesome, man.
And look, we're going to finish out some of the good old Louisiana food, bro. Catfish, fried chicken, red beans and rice. We got some gumbo. Hey, let's see, I got some gumbo for you, bro.
What's going down?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna make a pot. Look, I'm gonna make a pot personally, and I'm gonna bring it to make sure y'all backstage, y'all gonna be good. I don't want nobody falling asleep in the middle of the song though.
Now wait a minute.
I'm gonna feed y'all so good.
Now listen.
I'm gonna feed you so good.
You're changing the routing.
We got to wait till afterwards. Huh?
Yeah. You cannot change the routing, Tony. All right. Can't change the routing.
We ain't gonna change it. But I tell you what, I bring that gumbo in there. The router gonna go out the window. They can go all in my gumbo. Hey, y'all are in the router, so y'all want Tony Brown's gumbo. But just put that in the router, y'all got it. Tony Brown's gumbo. I got y'all. Look, we're gonna put some smoked turkey necks, some gizzards, some sausage, some shrimp, some crab. I'm gonna do a grabber style for y'all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ Smith, you gotta come by the dressing room and get some of that gumbo.
I'll be there, man. I'll be hanging out, and I'll come out. I'm gonna make sure I make a pie.
Y'all got it.
And let me tell you, I was just at the casino. Eating there, and let me tell you, everything that they have there is delicious. I mean, they got people in the kitchen that look like us. So catfish, fried chicken, it's all top notch. They got gumbo, red beans, and rice. So y'all, there's nothing I need to bring for the casino because I'm gonna come there and I'm gonna eat that my damn self. Their food is that good. But look, I want to thank.
I think we're gonna have to eat after the show.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to wait on that. Look, man, I can't say enough about Silk. Look, Lil G, Zoe, Jenny, John, Big G. God bless y'all, man. And y'all have some traveling grace as y'all make it here to Central Louisiana because we are gonna sell this show out, and we know y'all gonna do what y'all do.
Yes, sir. That's right, man. On the 19th, we'll be at the Paragon with DJ Premier, Christopher Williams, and Silk. Y'all come on out.
Thank you, man.
Get ready.
Get ready. Silk, I'm gonna give you the final word, brother. Premier, go ahead. Let me give you the final word. Premier, go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry.
Listen, it's going down April 19th, Easter weekend. Probably one of the hottest shows to ever hit the casino, hit the area, man, with all my guys, Silk, Christopher Williams, and Primetime Premier in the building. Not to mention, we got the official after party, man, concert. Listen, it's going to be live in full effect. We only got 500 tickets for the after party. It's going to be over probably 2,000 people in the building for Silk and Christopher Williams. So, man, get your tickets right now. Tickets are only $45 during admission. If you want a table, it's $55. After party tickets, man, $12, and it's cheap, man, for real. But I'm going to tell you, it is limited. $25 VIP, man, I'm telling you. Then Silk said they might even show up, man, for the after party, man. Silk, y'all coming to the after party, man? Y'all going to tell the people what it's like, man? Okay. Man, look.
Hey, man, that's where the gumbo is. We're going to the gumbo is.
Look, we are going to make sure that the gumbo is in the building after party, man. Look, it's official like the whistle. Silk, Christopher Williams, Primetime Premiere, April 19th is going down. Paragon Casino, man. It will be like no other show you haven't seen in a long time, man. Let's go.
All right, God bless y'all, man. Y'all have some traveling grace. And again, we'll see y'all in a few days. All right, bro. Back to that. And of course, all right, y'all take care. We got them all along. God bless you. I stayed over because my Premier called me up and said, look, I got the man. Premier, God bless you, man. Thank you. Let's stick it out. And tell y'all, folks, we see the after party concert, I got mine straight. But that after party is going to be so hot, so jam-packed. I know Christian Williams is going to drop in. I know Silver's going to drop in because they're that caliber. They want to meet their fans. But if you don't get your ticket, I had a hard time getting my ticket. So if I had a hard time, and I own a couple of states, I know y'all going to have a hard time, so don't dilly-dally. Don't wait it out. Don't wait and say, I get paid for. You better go ahead and get your tickets now and sell out. So not only will we have the concert, doors opening at 7 o'clock, concert starts at 8 properly, the casino, they start on time. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. And then immediately after the concert, it's the livest after. And you know what? I've never seen them really do an after party after the concert.
Listen, I'm telling you, the after party is the official after party. So I'm gonna tell you one thing. Now you know when prime time is in the building, you know what time it is. It's grown and sexy, R&B, that type of stuff. It ain't. You're not gonna hear certain things, but you will an R&B vibe, city vibes. Listen, it's gonna be just like that. Tony.
Grown folks. So y'all come out. We're making history in Central Louisiana. Paragon performing live. None other than Christopher I'm Dreaming Williams, and of course Silk meeting in my bedroom. These are some of my favorite cuts, so I'm looking forward to it. Bring your honey, bring your significant other, bring your boo. It's gonna be that kind of night. Premier, God bless you. Thank you for hooking all this up.
Tony, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for making time for me, because I'm gonna tell you, man, something like this, man, we need everybody in Central Louisiana to support this, man. Because if you continue to support this, we're gonna continue to bring it.
Absolutely, that's my man, Primetime DJ Premier. God bless you again, man. We're gonna have more eyes open when we come back. Get your tickets, baby. They're going fast. When we come back, don't go away.
April 19th, 8 p.m. inside the Murray Showroom at Paragon. You got to get that ticket right there. I am there, baby.
KTTP 1110 AM is the official voice of the Peabody Warhorse Radio Network. Download the KTTP app today in the App Store or on Google Play.
Same people are walking, but they still try to tell me how to keep it hot. But girl, stick with me, and with both our eyes we'll see it's not very hard to keep it hot. I just know what I know. Let's take a chance.